don't have my wand with me. Well, imagine I have my wand and I'm going, abracadabra, welcome to my life. Boop. I usually like to welcome in the magic with my wand, but it's over there and I don't want to get up and get it. Welcome in, everyone, welcome in. Let's see, I feel like I need more upbeat music. This quiet music is a little too sad for me. Let's see. I'm just picking some music that will go nice with the live. Let me try this. I don't know. 1 second. I'll just go with that. Some frequency sounds. Welcome everybody. How you doing tonight? Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the Magic Hour. Let's have some fun today. It's been a very beautiful, really relaxing day. I needed the rest today. That's why I didn't get a daily tarot video up. I feel kind of bad about that, but you know what? I'm going to forgive myself. It's no big deal. At least I got out one of my daily affirmation videos. I just didn't get one of the tarot videos out because I just needed to rest. I have like a sprained ankle that's been bothering me for a few days. And I ended up watching Roseanne, binge watching Roseanne, and just really enjoying relaxing and watching Roseanne. And then I took a nap. And you know what? Sometimes you just need to rest. Hi there. Welcome in. Who just joined? I'm just getting started. Let me get my chat pulled up on my phone so I can communicate easily. Welcome into my life. Let's get some magic going with some fun magic talk. Welcome in. If you're new to my live, go ahead and subscribe first. My name is Joey. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, psychic and medium, and I will go ahead and pull a card for you and give you an intuitive reading in exchange for subscribing and liking the live. Oh, hey Kylie, how you doing today? Welcome in. Hi there, who just joined? I feel like I'm on a Teams meeting. Hi there, who just joined? Your mama just joined. That's who. Welcome in, everybody. I hope you're having a good day today. It's been a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon. I feel really good today. It's been good. It's been a good day. I feel like excitement, like momentum in the air, like good things are happening. Anybody else feel that way? All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Who else is here beside Kylie? Let yourself be known. What's your name? How you doing today, Kylie? How's your mom doing? Oops. Let me just shuffle these while I'm sitting here. So yeah, it's been a good day. Been a very good day. Oh, look at that. I'm pulling these random cards. I'm getting a reading out of it. I'm like, oh shit, this makes sense. I'll give this reading in a second just to see what these other 3 cards are that are going to show up. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. That does definitely make sense too. Wow, this is an incredible reading. Look at that. Oh, good. Some good news came in. That's excellent. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, so interesting. 3 cards fell out, and what they were was 10 of Wands. Getting the work done, even though it's a little bit hard, you overworked, but you're getting it done. Now after that were 2 character cards, a Page of Swords. Doing some research about something, you know, learning, studying, making sure you're making a decision with having done your research. Beside the Page of Swords, which is the Knight of Cups. This might be a relationship when the character cards are like that back to back. Now here's the other thing. The second row shows 6 of Wands. Public recognition and celebration for your hard work. Below that Page of Swords is the 8 of Cups, getting away from something emotional that's been weighing on you, you know, taking back your emotions. Below the Knight of Cups is the 2 of Cups. I'm thinking, all right, so this might actually be a relationship, this random group of cards that fell out. Now below the 10 of Wands and below the 6 of Wands is the Magician. We've been talking about Magician energy all week. This is the only major arcana. No, there's 2 major arcana. No, actually, yeah, this is the only major arcana, because that's a 2 of Cups. So yeah, you're the Magician. You're manifesting the career you want with that 6 of Wands, the 10 of Wands. You've done the work. Now you're waiting for the public recognition, and now you believe that you're the Magician that can have that public recognition. You can have that success. Below the Page of Swords is the Eight of Cups and the Page of Pentacles. You've done the research. You've healed your emotions surrounding money. And now you have somebody coming to you with some type of financial offer. I always think that in business, this could be clients coming to you, people coming to you with information about money. But this is a really good positive start to money. Interesting enough, below that Knight of Cups and the Two of Cups is the Six of Pentacles. Whatever it is you're working on, love and career, the finances are coming in. The love is coming in because you are the magician. Interesting little reading that popped out. I'll take it for myself if it applies. Sometimes the cards fall out and I like to see what the message is. That may be a message for someone out there if this stuff resonates. Those are very quick examples of the cards. It's not a real reading. But that stuff really makes sense, all these things. So love, money. Who else is here with us? I should make it a requirement to at least say hello. Show yourself. What's your name? All right, let me shuffle these cards. Ace of Cups, new beginning, emotional beginning. Oh, there's my fat cat. How you doing, Teddy Bear? Teddy, I'm not feeding you right now. No. Sorry. These cards shuffled. I finished Roseanne, the original series. I finished all 9 seasons. Man, what a wild ride that was. What a great show. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. If your friend has a YouTube, tell them to subscribe to my channel. I'll get to 170 subscribers. All right. I feel peaceful today, but I feel like a little out of it. I don't know why. I guess because I didn't do much today. I just rested. I feel kind of out of it. Not in a bad way. I don't know, like in a dreamy way. Hi, Stormy girl. Hi, Teddy Bear. My little fatties. Hi, Teddy Bear, my sweet boy. My sweet babies. You guys okay? You okay, Teddy? What a cutie. You're a sweetie, Teddy. You know that? Here. Come to Papa. Hey, Kathy. How are you today? Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. Who else is here with us? I think this is Mother of Pearl, this necklace, and this is sterling silver. That's probably why it's tarnished. That must be what the engraving is on the back. I have to get a magnifying glass to try to see what's actually engraved on the back of this. This random necklace that was in some stuff that my father had when he died. Excuse me. Come on, girlie. You want to come say hi? And so I looked up Mother of Pearl and sterling silver. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? And some things about Mother of Pearl. Mother of Pearl is calming and protective energy. It's about intuition and feminine wisdom, prosperity and flow, and then sterling silver as well. Oops, where's the sterling silver one? Did I not save that? Hang on one second, let me tell you. I was like, you know what, this necklace kind of found me out of nowhere, and I put it on and it actually fits me. Oh, that's good. And so I decided to look up to see do these things have any spiritual meaning? Mother of Pearl, sterling silver, do they have any meaning to them? And let's see what I found. Let's see, sterling silver is a conductor of energy. It's got a connection to the moon. Like Mother of Pearl silver is lunar in nature. And it's about purification and clarity. I think this necklace found me for a reason. Hey, Yvonne, welcome in, my friend. How is everyone doing this evening? It's been such a good day today. I cried like a baby watching Roseanne. When Dan died, that final episode when Dan died, Roseanne's a great writer. She's very creative with that show. She's Scorpio, of course she's creative. Welcome everyone who would like an intuitive card read. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and subscribe first, like the live, and then come back and let me know you did, and I'll pull a card for you. It's been a good day. It's been a really, really good day. It's been a really good day. You know, it's interesting you say that. And one time when I was like meditating and thinking, I feel like I got a channeled message that said water is the conductor. 11:11 on the clock. That's why our bodies are mostly water. But you know, water is the conductor for the energy, because water is like one thing and it's all over the planet. It's in us. It's all over. We grow in water. Our earthly bodies develop in water. Yeah, I guess you can say that. Yeah, I think so. Maybe because the moon controls water. The moon controls the ocean. Okay, 1 second, Kathy. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm not sure why the water signs seem to have that intuition. I think it's just a systematic, just like a system, like an order to it. You know, earth signs have these things, fire signs have these things. You know, what do you call, air signs have these traits, water signs have these traits, and it's just the you know, just the things that we needed for. I think of it like a game. So you have 12 basic models you can choose from your avatar, and in your lifetime you need to master self-love and learning how to balance your emotions. Okay, how do I do that? Well, you should be born into one of the water signs. Which one will work best for me in the family structure that I'm in? How about a Scorpio? Okay, let's do that one. And then I, you know, kind of like sort of mapped the whole thing out. I had a revelation years ago, but I can't remember when it was, but I know it was years ago. I don't think it was in the 90s, probably when I was living with my parents in that townhouse before they both passed away. Somewhere around that time, I think. I just was walking one day and just something popped in my head and I saw a giant blackboard with like gold filigree around it, like almost like the blackboard was in space and it was massive. And on the blackboard were these columns, these 12 columns with these huge mathematical equations going down each one. And this revelation hit me. This is way before I was spiritually awakened. My parents were alive. All I knew was my Christian faith. I knew nothing outside of that, and I didn't want to believe anything outside of that. But this revelation hit me like a ton of bricks one day, and it just said, the zodiac is part of the mathematical equation that creates humanity. You are born into the Scorpio for a reason, and there are certain traits that all of you share, the same way Aries and whatnot. I couldn't tell anybody about that, but it came like, it was just kind of dropped in my head. Like the whole image, the visual was dropped in my head, and I could see it right now. It was like a giant blackboard. And I had this idea that God, source, however you want to refer to God now, was the, you know, this creator, that there was a structure and order to the whole thing, that because I was born on November 10th and I'm a Scorpio, that there's a specific reason for the personality and, you know, for the lessons I needed to learn in this lifetime. But that's how I think of it. Yeah, I'm not sure why some have different traits than others. I guess because, you know, 4 is about building a foundation, and there's 4 elements, and then 12 signs and 12 levels of consciousness and things like that. And I think it just all ties into the galactic game. So it all ties into the rules of the galactic game. It's like we're living in a giant video game, or a giant board game. You know, and there's ways to maneuver and get things and overcome things, and whatever the lessons are that we want to learn, that our soul needs to learn or wants to learn, we're going to incarnate into bodies that can help us get those lessons. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? Okay, I'm going to pull a card for Kathy. Kathy, you got 7 of Cups this time around. Lots of options, lots of emotions about things. Not sure what decision to make. When this card comes up, just follow your intuition. Go with what makes the most sense for you. Some of the cups have good things in them. Some of the cups have things that might cause some harm, that might not be the best. If you're overly emotional about a situation, try to just, follow your gut instinct. Follow your heart with that one. Okay, does anybody else want an intuitive card reading? Who else is here with me? Kathy, Yvonne, and Kylie? Who are the other three amazing souls that have joined us? But yeah, I was weeping at the end of Roseanne. Man, I was crying. That Seven of Cups keeps coming up. It means you have like a lot of options. Like you're weighing your options, and because it's about emotions. And remember, sevens are about standing your ground. If there's something that's trying to take over your emotions, or someone's trying to get you to do something but you don't feel right about it. Like, oh no, I think we should do it this way. You don't feel right about it. You have a lot of options. You got to just go with your gut with that one. Go with your intuition. And I always think with the sevens, when it says standing your ground and fighting back, I always think that sometimes it's actually standing your ground with your own mindset. How we can sometimes work ourselves into a frenzy with fear and anxiety, things that aren't even happening yet. So I think sometimes when the sevens come up, I think that it's almost like saying the battle is in your mind, and your emotions. Your emotions dictate what your thoughts are. So whatever you're feeling is what you're eventually going to be thinking. That's why they say feeling is the secret to manifestation. If you're just in a mode where you're feeling good, if you can somehow get to a place where you're feeling good and you're just taking care of yourself and you're feeling happy and you just feel good, just feeling good, that's in the receptive mode. That's when all the things you want can start coming into your life, because now you're tuned into the frequency that welcomes those things in. And so feeling good is the number one priority. Capricorn. Okay, let's see, what does the cards say for Yvonne? Let's see. I mean, honestly, Yvonne, you got a really positive card, a world card, but there's something coming to an end, Yvonne. Some type of cycle that's coming to an end, but you're gonna end up in victory with this cycle. This shows the four elements. These are symbolic of the four elements: air, fire, water, earth. She's in a laurel wreath, which is about victory. She's got those magic wands in her hands, so she's creating her destiny. She's completing a cycle. The world is actually the end of a cycle. So you're coming to the end of something and starting something new in life. I'd say whatever's weighing on your mind, Yvonne, do your best to just focus on the positive and what's good and working in your life. And just know that something is coming to an end, but it's going to bring you to a place where, you can do what you want. You're going to come to a place where life is yours now. You're going to take your life back for you. The world is your oyster, as I like to say with the world card. So just hang in there, Yvonne. Some things are changing, but change is scary, but change is good at the same time. Who else is here with us? Would anyone else like an intuitive card read? Welcome in. I wish I could find out who made this and where this came from. I found some things online that were similar, but I couldn't find anything about this. Maybe this artist made like one-of-a-kind pieces. You okay, teddy bear? Oh, look at my little sweetie. He's such a cutie. Hey there, Moy. How are you? Welcome in. You okay, Teddy? This cat is so cute. What does he want, though? I don't know. You want to come up here? Come on, come here. Come here, Papa. Come on, come here, Papa. Come up here. All right, I guess don't come up here. Why you look at him like that? You're a cutie, Teddy. I wonder what cats are thinking half the time. Sometimes they just stare at you. You don't know what the hell they're staring at you for. Hi, baby. You okay? Can I get a slow blink? I tried to give them some ear ointment. It didn't go well today. But luckily I found the ointment for the ears and I found the other eardrops, and I have to try to give it to them at some point. But they're doing better with what I think is a little ear infection. They're doing okay though. You okay, Ted? My baby, I love you. I love you, sweets. You're my baby. Teddy gives me the slow blinks. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? And Stormy, she does not give me the slow blinks, but she does give me little licks on my hand. The other day I was petting Stormy when she was on the floor, and for a second she didn't realize, she got caught up in the moment and she bit me. And I was like, oh shit, no, I do not want her to think that that's how she has to play with me. She stopped right away. She bit me once and then she realized what she did. I guess she thought she was playing with Teddy for a second. Teddy, on the other hand, unfortunately, when he was a very little kitten, I played with him like that, and now he thinks that's the fun way to play, is to bite my hands. With cats, you can't let them play like that because they'll get it in their head and they won't ever stop playing with you like that. I have the scratches to prove it. This is Teddy's favorite toy, is my wrist and my forearm. And this one too. Whoever else is here, welcome in. If you'd like me to pull an intuitive card for you, give you a reading, let me know. Does anybody want to just jump in the chat and share something good and positive that happened today? Just spread some good positive energy around. And let's get focused on some good stuff. Anybody here? Would anybody like a reading? Would anyone like a reading? $5, $10, or $15? 3, 6, or 9 card readings? One of my neighbors, his truck is shaking my apartment. I so badly want to go out there, open the door, because I think he's one of my upstairs neighbors. And as he's walking upstairs, I just want to point out that young men with large trucks that make loud noises like that are often overcompensating for things. It's just so rude to me. You're shaking my apartment, you fucking bitch. Sorry guys, my New Yorker came out for a second. The walls are shaking in my apartment because of the stupid bass in his truck. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? Quiet room tonight. Quiet, quiet. Who else is here? At least say hi. If you're going to be on here and watch me for a minute, I mean, at least just say hi just so I know who's here, so I at least know your name. Would anyone else like an intuitive card read? Excuse me. The Lover's card, making a decision from the heart. Welcome in. Welcome into the live. How's everybody doing tonight? Have a good night, Kathy. Maybe we'll see you tomorrow. I'll be on here tomorrow night as well. I'll probably be on here for at least 2 hours tonight anyway. Yeah, I've been getting the subscribers, yeah. When I come on here, I've been getting the subscribers. It's hard to tell though, because YouTube, the notifications on YouTube, it takes a while to update. So there's people that say that they subscribe, but 3 days later, I never see that they actually subscribed. I think some people lie to me about that. I don't know why. I guess it makes them feel better about themselves. But yeah, I'm almost at 170. I'm at 169 subscribers. Yeah, it's been good. It's been really good. It's been really successful on here. YouTube has been it was a good decision for me to pop on here and start doing my lives on here. I tried going live on here in the daytime and I didn't really get anybody coming through. So I guess the nighttime is good, but I don't know. I may try daytime as well. Hi there, Kelly. Welcome in. Hey, Melissa. Anybody that's new, go ahead and subscribe first and like the live, and then I'll pull a card for you. I'll give you a single card, a one card intuitive reading in exchange for subscribing and liking the live. And just to mention, if anybody would like an actual reading, I could do 3, 6, or 9 cards for $5, $10, or $15. Very reasonably priced. Thank you, Kelly. What's your age and zodiac sign? I'll pull a card for you. I'm reading the comments on another phone down here. It's easier to do that. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading the comments down there. Actually, I should put it in front of me then. Oh, Sagittarius. Interesting sign. You guys love to learn. Learn new things, study. Thank you. I think it's going to happen any minute. The channel's going to take off. Because I think that I'm showing up on the home pages. Yeah, Sagittarians are fire energy. They love to have fun too. Let's see. So what does Kelly need to know? Oh, Kelly, hang in there. You got a tower moment coming. Some change, some shake-up. Life going in a new direction. Something in your life that's not working right now that I think you already know is probably going to fall apart and bring something new into your life. So, yeah, you got a tower moment, but hang in there. I like the tower. I like change. All right, that one's for Kelly. Anybody else like an intuitive card read? Melissa, did I get to you yet? I'm building a really great community on here. If anybody's interested in joining my tarot club, we launched on October 1st. It's going to be like it's going to be via private link, and we'll discuss tarot. So I'll go in more depth for each card, how to incorporate tarot into your life on a daily basis. But I also want to talk about all the spiritual stuff I'm into, like mindset work, energy work, things like that. Past lives, stuff like that. So I want to touch on all those fun topics as well. And every subscription comes with a one-on-one reading with me, as well as access to any psychic and intuitive messages I may have for you throughout the month, and we'll meet twice a month. If you sign up for 3 months in advance, I think it's a 20% discount. If I have to look at the flyer again. All right, let's see. Melissa, you got the Wheel of Fortune. Be open to things going in a different direction, something you might be working on or looking at or, working toward. Be open to it going in a whole new direction. The wheel spins. You're not sure where it's going to land, but the universe is definitely taking you in a new direction or bringing you something, fortune, like something you might win something, a prize, lotto, things like that. Wheel of Fortune could really be any surprises from the universe, but this is also major arcana about being open to the universe, trusting the universe that even if things don't work out the way you hoped, this new thing that came in is exactly what your soul needs and what you need to grow. And so be open to new possibilities, new things, and be open to some fortune coming into your life. This one's for Melissa. I have done past life regression on myself, and I did see 3 separate lives. Well, actually, I take it back. It took me a few different tries. I'm not the greatest at meditating, because I used to think that meditation meant you had to clear your mind. That never happened with me. When I meditate and I'm in that relaxed state, my mind goes crazy. I see everything. I see future, I see past, I just see a lot of things. So for me, yeah, Wheel of Fortune's a great card. So for me, when I did the regressions, it took me a couple of times, but here's how it started. The first one was actually right away. When I first did the regression with Brian Weiss, the guy that wrote the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. He's got a 30-minute video on here on YouTube. Just type in Brian Weiss, past life regression. Weiss, W-E-I-S-S. That very first night, this is almost 2 years ago, that very first night, I did get a vision of like a little boy and a little girl. I didn't know what it was. And they were in like a very basic, like, I don't know, wooden house. Oh no, they were in a field. And I thought, okay, this is stupid. I don't know who this is. And I actually thought that very first night, I also saw a woman sitting at a table that was very sad. And I was, what the hell's going on here? And then I didn't touch it for a while. And then something happened. I started dabbling into past lives again. And it became my new topic that I was researching a lot. So I kept trying to regress myself. Nothing was really happening. I couldn't really get into it. And then one night, as I was dozing off, I mean, if you guys are interested, I'll tell you about the 3 lives. Just know that these are 3 things that came to me out of the blue. I wasn't looking for anything specific. I didn't even really believe in past lives at the time. It was more just experimenting. But I'll tell you about my experience and about my 3 lives that I saw if you want to hear it. If at least 3 people tell me that they want to hear it, I'll say it because it's interesting. But I was dozing off one night, and I had a vision as I was dozing off. I saw this like 20-something-year-old Hawaiian man with long curly black hair, and like my eyes popped open. I was like in that in-between state. I wasn't asleep yet, but I was sort of in the in-between state. I'm dozing off. I see this like Hawaiian man, this beautiful Hawaiian man, and I felt the connection to him. And my eyes popped open, and I thought, holy shit, who is that? And I thought, is that who I referred to in this lifetime as Aaron? I was like, is that my soulmate, Aaron? Have we lived lives together? And I sort of put that back. And then a few days later, I tried doing the regression again on a Sunday night. And as I was doing the regression, this time I had some earphones in. I was pretty relaxed. And I was doing the regression, and the Hawaiian life came back to me. But what it was is though I wasn't him. That was the person I was with in that lifetime. I have no idea what year this could possibly be. I'm not good with history, guys. In my regular life as Joey, I'm not good with history. I was never much of a school person. So for me, dates and history, it's kind of fuzzy. I have to really figure that stuff out. But anyway, it takes place. So I'm in the regression. I'm doing the regression. I'm in a very deep meditative state. And I'll be honest with you, for me to get into that meditative state, I had to be very, very relaxed, And all of a sudden, I just saw this young woman on a beach. And I knew that the guy I saw a few days earlier was her partner, her love. And I felt, oh shit. I was like, am I the woman? Am I this young woman, like 21, 22 years old, like this young Hawaiian woman? And I was like, okay. So I thought immediately, all right, well, I always felt a connection to Hawaii. I've never been there, but I always felt a deep spiritual connection to Hawaii. And I always felt drawn to Hawaii all my life. Just never ever been, not yet at least. So I saw this young woman, and all of a sudden, it's almost like you see an image, like it's almost like you're looking at a memory, but it's like you're thinking about one of your own memories that you never knew you had. So I see this young woman on a beach, and I feel the grief that hits her because this guy that she's in love with, he actually died in a boating accident. Hawaii, they're on the beach, the ocean. He died in a fishing accident, and I just felt this grief that hit this young woman that she just couldn't handle it at all. And I remember looking to the left, and I saw what looked like a 1-year-old baby, like a toddler, a little boy. And my first thought was, as Joey, is that Teddy? I don't think that little boy is the soul of Teddy. I don't think that. But that was the connection I had, and that's how I could explain it in this life. Like Teddy, I know he's a cat, guys, I know it, but I love him a lot, and he's the closest thing that I have in this lifetime to a child. And I really do love him with all my heart. And so I looked at that baby, and yes, I felt love for that baby, but I could not get over this grief, this immense grief. And I saw this young woman get up from the beach. She left the baby at the beach, wherever she was. She left the baby back there. She got up and she walked into the ocean. And that's it. She gave up and she walked into the ocean. 21, 22, she was gone. That's it. That's the end of that life. Next thing I know, like seconds later, I get a flashback of a second life. Now this one, I'm a black man, and I don't know if I don't think I'm a slave, but it's right after slavery ended, I would imagine. And I'm in like a barn, I guess, and I'm an inventor in this lifetime, and the memory takes place with me. Now this one, I was able to look down at my pants and my shoes, and I knew my name was John. And I'm standing in front of a white guy in a black suit with a very particular black hat. I have to look up the style of the hat. What state? Oh, I don't know. Maybe Alabama, because 3 of my siblings and I are all in Alabama. And we're Italians from New York. How did we all end up in Alabama? I don't know. It might have been Alabama. I have no idea, really. But I'm in this room, like in this barn, with like tools and everything, like a workshop, like a shed. And this white guy's in front of me wearing this black suit, and I knew that I worked for him. But we were like brothers, I felt. And I show him something that can help his family with farming. and he says something really, really mean to me, really derogatory, because he didn't want a black man to look like he's smarter than him. So he says that thing to me and he leaves, and I feel the weight of the betrayal and the grief of this person that I thought was a brother, that I thought that we were beyond the whole race thing, even though it's like probably, I don't know, whatever year. He leaves that barn with the tool, and I'm standing there, and this character, John, doesn't know what to do, and this guy then, next thing I know, I have a really quick flash of a young woman named Ruth that was my fiance or my wife in that lifetime. I think I was about 35, and she was probably right around there, maybe in her late 20s. And I see this young woman named Ruth, and I don't know who she is, and I don't know who she is in this lifetime. I have no idea who she is, but I know who the guy is that was in front of me that betrayed me. So next thing I know, this person, John, is now hanging from the barn because this brother that he loved betrayed. Like, they grew up together. They grew up together. Even though John worked for his family, they grew up together. They were like brothers. But he couldn't let a black man be smarter than him in that lifetime. And I then hung myself. This is a dream, YouTube, not real. This is a dream. And so that betrayal happened, and I thought, oh shit. Now I'm in this meditative state, but I'm thinking, oh fuck, this is a theme now. Both of them have unalived themselves. Now fast forward, now I'm in a third lifetime, and I'm a female in this lifetime again. And now this woman now is weeping and wailing because she had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and they're gone for whatever reason. I don't know why or how. And then that one stopped. I thought, okay. That one stopped. Now, that was all I could handle for that day. I regressed myself again one night to see if I could get to the death sequence, because in both of those lifetimes, they were here and gone. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. The third lifetime, I think my name was Celestine, but that doesn't match up because I think she was a woman in Ireland. I don't know about those details yet, but so then I'm trying to regress myself again to see if I can get to the death cycle, where I actually see the soul leave the body and I experience the death cycle, you know, that immediate after the soul leaves. Now this one takes place, now this is a wild experience I had, because I'm in my bed, it's late at night, and I'm kind of talking out loud as I'm experiencing these things, as if somebody's in the room and they're like guiding me through the regression. It takes place with Celestine in the kitchen of this little wooden house, very, very bare bones wooden house on some farm or something. And she's like wailing, my babies, I can't live without them. She's screaming, like she's wailing in the kitchen. And I see this woman put something in a teacup and drink it really fast. And then cut to this woman, Celestine, is laying on the graves of these children in a very old-timey, little tiny graveyard. And all of a sudden, this like elation, this feeling of peace came over her. And I saw her soul like kind of float up out of her body and look up this way, toward the left. And what I saw was like what looked like a tornado, but in the other direction. Like the wide end was facing me. And as I looked up, I saw a face of a cute granny, like a cute little chubby grandma. And I knew it was her grandma in her lifetime, in that time, welcoming her. And all of a sudden, I looked at that grandma, and guys, I can't even describe it. It was the most incredible thing ever. I looked at that grandma's face. Keep in mind, my eyes are closed. I'm laying in bed. I'm weeping because I'm feeling everything she's feeling. She can't believe that her children are gone. They were like 5 and 7, maybe. The girl was 5, the boy was 7. And I look at this face in this vortex coming down from the heavens as I'm floating up to it, and I see this face I've never seen in this lifetime, ever. I don't know who she is. But in an instant, I feel the presence of my mom in this lifetime, Gloria. And I thought, holy shit, she was my grandma in that lifetime. I can't describe it, but it was more real than anything I've experienced in this lifetime as Joey. And then the soul just floated up, and I just thought, wow. It was like, I can't describe it. Like, you know when someone is in the room with you and it's a relative that you know all your life, and you know what their presence is like, you know what the energy is like. It's like how my mom, when she died in this lifetime. When she died, and I looked in her eyes and I saw that her soul was not there anymore, the presence of Gloria was not in the house anymore. But the presence of Gloria, my mom in this lifetime, the presence of her energy was so strong in that vision. I know that she was my grandma in that lifetime. And those are 3 lifetimes. And here's the thing. Usually if you go into that and you seek an answer or some guidance about this life, you're going to see 3 lives that have a bearing on this life. And the feelings of, life is hard, not wanting to be here, not wanting to fit in, always feeling like I was betrayed by people, that was really plaguing me. That was very, very hard. And I feel like for this lifetime as Joey, I had to learn independence. And I had to learn that I can be okay on my own, even if the people I love the most betray me, even if I lose my children, even if I lose my parents, even if my brothers betray me, which my brothers in this life have treated me badly. I had to learn that I had to value my life and not take that easy way out, because all 3 of them unalive themselves. Now, can I tell you the honest truth? Where would that come from? How could I have made I'm a writer by name. I'm a writer. I'm a storyteller. I'm a writer, which actually I have good news about that, by the way. But I'm not that creative to come up with three complete stories on the spot like that. I'm not that creative. I can't do that. Now, here's the amazing thing. Fast forward to the year 2000. Oh, by the way, so a few weeks later, hey there, Ribby and Nazir, how are you doing tonight? So a few weeks later, or several weeks later, it was actually a few months later, I kept thinking, who was it that betrayed me when I was John, the former slave? Who betrayed me? Who was this person that betrayed me that made me do this? I couldn't. Now, also, I don't know who the guy was that I was in love with in the first lifetime as the Hawaiian woman. I only know that my mom was my grandma in that 3rd lifetime. I don't know who my children were in that lifetime either. I don't know who my fiance was in the lifetime as John. But while on a meditative walk one day around my complex, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I know who betrayed me in that lifetime, and you want to know what? He made up for it in this lifetime. It was my friend Josh from Bible school. 3 years into Bible school, we were in orientation. This is in 2000, so September 5th or 6th of 2000. And this guy's the most beautiful blue eyes you can imagine. He's a straight guy. Most beautiful powder blue eyes, like stunning blue eyes. I just go up to him one day and just say, hey, I'm Joey. He's like, hey, I'm Josh. I said, I think we need to be friends. He's like, I think so too. And Josh and I, from the moment we met, we clicked like we knew each other for lifetimes. This guy, of all the people I've ever known in my whole entire life, I can honestly say this, he's the one and only friend on that close level that has never once put me down. We lost touch throughout the years. He's married with some kids in North Carolina now. He never once put me down. He never once made me feel bad about my weight. He never once embarrassed me. He never once teased me where it was to my detriment, where he was making me the butt of the jokes. This dude just simply loved me for me. And for those 3 years at Bible school, we were close like brothers. We would watch movies sometimes when we were interns and we were allowed to watch movies. We would be on the couch and he'd lay his head on my thigh, and we would say to each other, I'm not emotional and intimate. He's like, I'm not either. And he's like, but with you, I'm comfortable with that. I was like, with you, I'm comfortable with that too. We were able to show each other non-sexual companionship and affection as 2 guys. And Josh Reeve, I said his last name, Josh healed that betrayal in this lifetime. I can't tell you, but when I realized it was him, and I saw the vision of that man in front of me from that lifetime wearing that very particular black hat and that very particular black suit, because he's very fancy, I saw his face and I saw the eyes and I said, oh wow, that's who it was. That's who it was. And so he healed that karmic, debt, and we healed it together. And I can't describe it. I don't know. I just know it was him. Now, here's how I know that these are real too. Because one night when I was telling these stories on TikTok, just as I said that the Hawaiian woman was about 22 years old, someone popped on and the number 22 is right there. And then just as I said that the middle lifetime, John, had a fiance named Ruth. Someone pops onto my onto my TikTok live, and he's like, "What's that about John and Ruth?" I said, "What?" He's like, "You just said John and Ruth." I said, "Oh, I was telling a story about past lives." He's like, "Oh my God, my name's John." And he's like, "I'm engaged to a woman named Ruth. We're about to get married in a couple of months." I said, "Holy shit! If that's not a confirmation from the universe that I was on the right track, because the names are John and Ruth. It's like." It's so random, right? Like, how can I make that up? And how could anything make that up? It was so. So I just took that as confirmation that I was on the right track. So those are my 3 past life regressions, guys. I've tried to regress myself many times after that, but it won't happen. As soon as I do, I fall asleep. And my guide says that it's not being allowed right now because I'll be obsessed with it. I want to know every lifetime. I believe I've lived a lot of lifetimes, like 1168. And so my personality wants to know all of them, and it would be a big distraction for me. So I can't see anything else. Nothing else comes to me. So that's my past life story. I absolutely believe it, because to be on earth is to have the experience of earth. As a fractal of God incarnate, which is what our souls are, we're created from the light and love of God, as they call Source, the one that creates all. And so if we are God having these experiences on earth, wouldn't we want to have all the experiences we could have? Wouldn't we want to have every experience, as the mom, the dad, the son, the daughter, the brother, the sister, the aunt, the uncle, the African, the Italian, the French, the Canadian, the American, the Hawaiian, the gay, the straight. Wouldn't we want to have all the experiences? As a soul, imagine you get to keep coming back to this planet and experiencing the wonder of seeing a butterfly for the first time all over again as a brand new child. Imagine getting to experience the love, like, I don't know, just like, I'm going to say love of a mother, but I know not everybody has a loving mother. I'm just saying most of us have loving mothers. The vast majority of people on earth have loving mothers. So I'm going to say, imagine getting to experience the intimacy and the bond of growing it in your mother's womb all over again with a different soul, and the experience of being loved by your mother again, the experience of playing with your siblings, the experience of having cousins, the experience of war, the experience of famine, the experience of fires, the experience, like the really, think about it. When we go to see movies, we don't go to see movies where nothing happens. That's not exciting. That doesn't help anybody. But when you experience the loss of a child, when you're by the bedside of your parents as they're passing away, and they've only been diagnosed with cancer 15 days earlier. These are the experiences that help our souls grow. These are the experiences that we have. If you're nursing a sick child, like my cousin Loretta, she was in a body that was broken for more than 20 years. When she was diagnosed with MS, my poor cousin, a beautiful young woman, 21, she had just started her career as a pastry chef in New York City, and then gets diagnosed with MS, and she deteriorates so fast that for most of the end of her life, she was bound to a bed. But they said my cousin, I didn't get to see her a lot, they said Loretta was the most joyful person you could ever be around. And she would call my dad all the time. My parents were her godparents. She would call them all the time, and after my mom died, she would call my dad a lot. And she would always give us the same recipe for bananas Foster. And my dad would laugh and listen to the recipe all over again. All over again. But my cousin would count the ceiling tiles to pass time. And I think, Loretta, how could you do that? How did you stand that? But on the other side, like, once she was out of that body and she was free, she was able to look back at her life and look back at the impact that she had on hundreds and thousands of people, possibly, because she was strong. She was full of life. My cousin was a go-getter. She was an Aries. She was fire. She was someone that lived life big and full. She was bold. She was so much more to this life than I've ever been. She had the drive and the confidence. She was born to drug addicts. My Uncle Neil was a drug addict, and her mom, Kathy, was a drug addict. She was born addicted to drugs. She was almost going to be taken as a ward of the state. But my Uncle Neil, my mother's youngest brother, 5 years younger than my mom, came to her and said, Gloria, they're going to take the baby from me. I don't know what to do. My mom, like a badass, she said, Neil, get in the car. They went. They bought some baby clothes. They went to the hospital. She said, don't say a word to them, Neil. Don't say words. Just follow me. My mom walked into that nursery because my cousin was, she was better. She was weaned off the drugs. They walked in that hospital, they put clothes on my cousin Loretta, and they walked out and didn't say a word to anybody. And that's how, Loretta's life started. And I just look at things like that and I think, as a soul that wants to come to Earth to experience life, I think those are the experiences. Those are the ones that are the nitty-gritty ones, the painful ones, because those are the ones that allow you to experience the beauty of human nature. The fact that she was this baby born into this weird life. But then as it happened a few years later, when my Uncle Neil and my Aunt Kathy couldn't take care of her, my Aunt Connie and my Uncle Dave, my mom's oldest sibling, their daughters were grown. Their daughters were teenagers. My cousins, Dora, Diane, and Antonia, they were teenagers at this point. And they welcomed in Loretta, and she became their golden girl. She became the light of that family. I had no idea that she was adopted by Aunt Connie until I was a teenager. And then shortly after my cousin Loretta finds out that Uncle Neil is her biological father, they find my Uncle Neil dead from a heart attack at 42 in his bed. And I could cry. You could think, man, who would pick such trauma? But we all picked it. Our whole family picked it. We all picked our role in the family for whatever reason. And my cousin Loretta, she taught me how to read. I have so many beautiful memories of her. I get very emotional about these things, but thinking about past lives and thinking about how we live more than one life, how even though I felt so many times that that this character that I'm playing now, that Joey is a screw up, a failure that will never amount to anything, that has failed at everything he's ever tried in life, and for a while thought that tarot was also a big failure, to think that I have another chance at life, that I get another chance to do this all over again, I'm actually not afraid to come back to Earth, because Earth is the short thing. Earth is the dream. We're in and out of these bodies so fast because time doesn't exist. And so we're in and out of these bodies so fast. We're coming and going at this incredible galactic game. And guess what? In the galactic game, we've all known each other before. And we know each other in the other dimensions, outside of this body, outside of Earth. We know each other, and there's nothing but love with all of us. And when I started having these revelations about reincarnation, past lives, and things like that, I'm able to see my father from a whole different perspective. My father is not the man that people judged in this life, the man that people thought was annoying and stupid and irresponsible. My father was judged a lot by people, by family. He was judged harshly and very badly for his flaws. But I think about him on a soul level, and I think, holy shit, this man is... He's not remembered as just Tony Two Cards. The guy that drank too much, that yelled and cursed, the guy that was so full of rage because of his trauma. He's so much more than that. And when I see people on a soul level, guys, I'm able to forgive. I'm able to love. I'm able to forget the things that were shitty and the things that they did wrong, because I've done things wrong too. In those 3 lives that I saw, yes, I was someone that gave into, betrayal and grief, and I gave up on life. But who's to say I wasn't a monster in one life? I don't know. Maybe I was a total jerk in one life. Maybe I was horrible to people. And so when I think about it on that level, I don't judge people. I try not to. I try to see them all on a soul level. Like that person, Yvonne, that I used to work very closely with, that a lot of people at that job think is very annoying, because she is actually a lot of times. I see her on a soul level too. I gave her a book. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I was at that job to give her that book and encourage that woman, because we had many conversations where I did encourage her. You know what I'm talking about, Yvonne, right? Okay, guys, so that's my past life story. That's everything I have to say about past lives. Sorry about that. Anybody that's new, just welcome. Say hello. My name is Joey. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, having a spiritual awakening. And I feel more connected to people, and I never really feel connected. You know what I'm talking about. She works with Marge's counterpart. RH is her initials. And so for me, it helps to see people on that level, and not just to view them as just the person they are in this lifetime, because we're all so much more than that. Now I think about babies. I think, oh wow, that baby's not a baby. That baby is an ancient galactic soul that has lived many lifetimes. And then I think, okay, well, just think about thinking about experiencing life all over again. All these different things, getting to do it all over again. And you do it with a whole group of people, your soul family. Welcome to everyone, welcome in. All right, I'm gonna pull some tarot, guys. I get emotional about this stuff, but you know what, that's just a Scorpio thing. Scorpios are okay being emotional. Capricorns have a hard time showing emotions, but Scorpios, we can show emotions. So I cry for the world, guys. You know, what I mean is, I shed the tears for the rest of you that can't shed your tears. Would anyone else like a reading? Would anyone else like a card reading? An intuitive card read? Ooh, 10 of Pentacles. Let's claim that. Let's claim that 10 of Pentacles, guys. Would anyone else like a reading? Would anyone else like more of a reading? 3, 6, or 9 cards? Yeah, so I used to be so dead set against reincarnation, because there's a scripture in the Bible that says, it is appointed unto men once to die, after this the judgment. And then it hit me, yeah, you die once. The person you're living in this lifetime dies once. But you get to experience it all over again, because right after death is the judgment. That's when you judge your life. That's when you do the life review. That's when you look at everything and you see how you affected people, how people affected you. That's when you see if you learned the lessons that you came into this lifetime to learn. That's when you start thinking, do I want to come back, for another lifetime? Is there anything else I need to learn? How did I do this lifetime? So think about it this way: the person that's been your biggest enemy in life is someone that in the other dimensions you have one of the closest bonds with, because they agreed to be that person in your life. They agreed to be that negative person. They agreed to be that person that would wound you and break you and hurt you. They love you so much that they agreed to be that person in your life. All right, does anybody have any thoughts about everything I said about reincarnation? I probably sound wacky. Would anyone else like a reading? So that's my story. That's what I have to say about all that stuff. I did have a revelation about my dad, actually, one time. I think I knew him in the year 80 AD, I think 80, something like that. I saw him in a white tunic, and he was a type of teacher to me. Like maybe the year 800, possibly, or no, the year 80. I think it was 80. Man, I'm so bad with history. I have to manifest a soulmate that knows history so he can help me fill in the gaps, like a real history buff. Somebody that likes learning, like that can really help me with that kind of stuff. The truth is, guys, we're not bodies with souls. We're souls with a body. The soul is where the healing comes from. If the soul is sick, then the body is sick. But then again, everybody has a day and time that's going to be their end day and time. We all do. It's all already planned out. All right. Guys, Teddy's sleeping next to me on a brown paper bag. How cute is that? Look at my sweetie. Teddy, where's Stormy? Oh, I think Stormy's in the couch. And I mean that literally. She's in the couch. She sleeps in the couch. She ripped that, that layer of fabric that's under the couches. She ripped that down, and now she sleeps in that. But think about how cute and cozy that is. She's like all the way in the couch. Like no one's gonna find her there. That's her little hiding spot. My little sweetie, Stormy. All right, somebody else has to comment or say something. I'm running out of things to say here. Would anyone like a reading? I'd love to do readings. How are you guys doing tonight? Does anybody have anything to contribute about anything I shared? Anything at all? You know, I think about sometimes, and listen, I'm not judging anybody. I really am not. But I think about parents that have chosen to bring in a child into the world that is not your typical child. You know, those really, oh, thank you. Oh, I'm actually good at interpreting dreams. If people tell me their dreams, a lot of times I get an interpretation. So my psychic abilities they were in play years ago. I believe that dreams do have meaning. Some dreams do. Not every dream has a meaning to it. You know, some dreams I think are just fun. They're just your human, conscious, like your conscious, your awake consciousness, your human person, just dealing with things and going through things. Remind me of what your zodiac sign is, Amoy. Yes, the thing is, I'm very logical too. I'm very, very logical. That's why I'm even sometimes I think, oh my God, I'm a hippie now. I'm wearing beaded bracelets, talking about past lives. I have crystals in front of me. This has never been me ever. This is not me. This is not Joey at all. I'm a Libra rising. So your rising sign is what your soul is in this lifetime. So my soul incarnated to be a Libra in this lifetime. So I'm all about balance and everything. Capricorn and Sag, what about those? They're not very emotional? Well, Capricorns like to work and they don't like to show emotions. Sagittarians like to have fun and they like to learn things. Libras are social butterflies. Libras love people and Libras love to be around people. Libras have a hard time being alone. But Libras are also the air sign, so they're always thinking. But, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was talking about parents. Oh yeah, they might be for sure. Yeah, you got to look up that natal chart. For parents that have a baby that's sick or disabled, a lot of people in the modern day, because you see them on social media, like a mom will have a social media platform, and she's just loving her baby that is in a body that we consider sick and disabled. But then you got to think, guys. Who the hell are you people to say that mom should have ended that baby's life? Because who are you to say that baby, that soul that's inhabiting the body of that baby that will never speak, never walk, the baby giggles and laughs, whatever the disability is. Who are you or I to say that soul should not have that experience? Who the hell are we? I think that the moms and dads, especially the moms, of course, that bring a child into the world that is disabled, that is sick, that does need 24-hour care. I think that the mom and that baby, on a soul level, are strong enough that they chose to incarnate into those lifetimes to have that experience. What is the experience of being trapped in a body with no freedom, wholly dependent on your mom for everything? And what's the experience of the mom that loves that baby and sees that baby as her baby, the light of her life? No matter how ugly the disability is, no matter how painful, no matter how hard it is, the mom. There's a powerful energy when you incarnate. I believe that there's a really powerful energy when you incarnate into the female form and you bring children into the world, especially if you choose to bring a child into the world that is disabled. To me, it's a beautiful expression of unbelievably unconditional love. For a mom to do that, I don't look at that as that baby is suffering. No, that soul is growing. That soul on the other dimensions is a beautiful, beautiful shining light that is showing people that you can love something with everything you have in you. You can love a child that will never say I love you back. But I celebrate those moms. You know what I mean? I celebrate those moms and I think, wow, they chose to come into this life and nurse and bring up that child that will never be the typical child and may die at a young age. And to me, I think that to me is like, those are advanced souls that have the ability and the capability to incarnate into those lives. No, I don't. Not at all. I have had dreams though where I've been pregnant and I think, oh wow, how's this baby gonna come out of me? Yes, Joey has been pregnant. Sometimes I hope this topic is not too heavy, guys, but you know, to me, this shows the beauty of life. You know, the beauty of love, the beauty in nurturing and loving a sick child. So I don't think that those babies should be taken out of the womb. I really think that if the mom wants to have the experience, then she should have that experience. Because it's the experience of the soul. The soul is growing in that, you know, and that child, that soul, you know, like you think about like the people you know in your life that maybe like if there's someone in town that's like a bum, a weirdo, no one thinks, you know, like a loser, you know, horrible person, drug addict, whatever, that person may be an advanced soul that came to earth just to live that life so that that life can have an effect on everybody that meets that person. Because everybody that judges that person, not knowing why he or she is like that, it's a lesson for their soul to not judge people, because we don't know who anybody is on a soul level. We don't. I don't know how many lives you've lived or how many lives really I've lived. You know, my neighbor that intimidates because he's so good looking, I have no idea who he is on a soul level. You know, the neighbor next door to me here, no idea. So when I walk around now, I think about that. I actually ask to get little glimpses of people. You know, show me this person, show me that person. Who are they in another lifetime? Sometimes I get flashes, like Elisa that comes on here. When we were chatting on TikTok one night, I had a vision of her, and she was in a dark alley, like a cobblestone alley, where it was very wet, possibly England, maybe France, and something really bad happened to her in that lifetime. If you know, you can use your imagination, because she had told me she had a dream that something really bad had happened to her, and as she's talking to me, I got a flashback of her in another lifetime, in like a Victorian type dress, and something really bad happened to her because at that time women were not really out late at night by themselves, and she was out by herself, and something really bad happened to her. And I just know that every lifetime we live is just as important as the previous and the next, and every lifetime we live is for a reason, and we keep coming back to earth for the growth, for the soul's growth. So even the person you think is the dumbest person on earth, the dumb as a rock, they're not. They're an advanced soul that has earned their right to come to earth. All right, I'm done. All right, so let me just wrap it up. I see 5 people here. Does anybody want to pull a card and give you an intuitive reading? Or would anyone like a reading? Want to help me out? I have little fat cats to feed. $5, $10, or $15 for the 3, 6, or 9 card readings. But yeah, I just feel like that. You know, I feel like yeah, more. That's interesting. You're interested in this stuff? No, I don't remember giving birth, because when you do a past life regression, you're not really seeing the whole life. I mean, I guess I can try to see more of her life and see what it was like. But it's very hard for me to regress myself as it is. And I don't know. But no, I didn't have any memory. I just felt the emotion, not the physical pain, just the emotions. Just the deep grief, the deep betrayal. I almost think that third person, Celestine, I almost think that she was the cause of her children's death in some way, accidentally possibly. And that's why there's a lot of grief around that one. I think the little girl's name was Anna Grace, and I think the little boy's name was Edward. Again, these are very common names, so part of me thinks, oh, are you onto something, or are you just making this shit up? I don't know. You know, but the name my name in this lifetime, Joseph Matthew, that's not the most original name. That's a very common name too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Oh, really? Oh, I could suggest some people that are really good at it. They meet online. Thanks for chatting with me, keeping the conversation going. This is really what I love to come on here, is have these conversations. You know what? I think in the future I'd like to learn how to actually be the one that does the regressions for people. I think in the future I will do that. So that's my whole past life spiel, guys. 8 years old? Oh wow. You were really on it with the learning, huh? What religion did you grow up in? And remind me where you grew up. Are you in the, I don't know, Jamaica? Did you grow up with a particular religion? Was it Christianity? You were reading it too? Oh, okay. Yeah, so you definitely incarnated with a Jamaica Christianity. Oh, is that I never heard of that. Probably just like what you mean is Christianity, but incorporated with the Jamaican culture. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's interesting. So you definitely are having a spiritual awakening. That's why you found my channel. A lot of people are finding my channel and they're having these awakenings, and they come back and tell me that something I said encouraged them, and then they're going and they're starting things on their own. You know, whether they're starting social media things or starting businesses. So I think I'm sort of like a match, like a spark that helps people light the flame, and then they go and do their own thing. Do you still feel drawn to the Christian religion? I never felt drawn to the religion, but I always did feel drawn to Jesus himself. Oh, I did have a vision one time, but I don't know if this is a past life. You know what? Maybe it was my fourth past life. Guys, you can think I'm completely crazy. I swear, in a time of meditation, I had a vision that someone brought me to meet Jesus when I was a little kid, like 10 or 12 years old, and I met Jesus, who was about 22 years old. I'm not even kidding you. It's the craziest thing, but I feel like I met him and I feel like I knew him. And that could be why I feel like I have such a close understanding of Jesus and who he is. Yeah, I still believe in Jesus. Now, here's the thing. When I started really getting into the New Age community and really researching and learning a lot, what really clicked for me was that in the New Age world, even the most profound New Age speakers with the biggest platforms, they might be anti-religion, but they all believe that Jesus is an ascended master, that he is a soul that lived so many lives, that he came to earth to die a brutal death, to show us that we always go on, that life always goes on, that we don't really die. And think about his message. Love one another as you love yourself, because we're all connected in the other dimensions. Hey, Brianna, my friend. We're just talking about past lives, Brianna. You know my favorite topic lately. We're all connected in the other dimensions. So there's no separation. There's no reason to hate each other. You know, Jesus taught us very basic things. Do to others as you want others to do to you, which is the golden rule. So if I'm a shitty person to you, next time I turn around, someone's going to be a shitty person to me. But if I show kindness to you, Amoy, next time I turn around, someone's going to show kindness to me. And so, yeah, in the New Age world, they believe Jesus is an ascended master. And when I heard that, I thought, okay, I can really get behind this now. Because don't tell me that I have to hate Jesus. Because there's a lot of American culture hates Jesus, but they don't hate Jesus, they hate religion. They just think it's Jesus that they hate. Oh, really? She gave you a message. Interesting. What was the message? Who else is here with us? By the way, if anybody wants to pull a card and give you a reading, just let me know, and we'll put a pause on the conversation. But part of me coming on here is to have conversations like this to get people thinking. All right, so let me tell you guys some good news. I don't want to jump the gun with this, but at the same time, I'm not attached to it anymore. I have a local friend. He's in his 50s. He's a teacher, an English teacher. His wife is a professor at the university, Auburn University. They're both very smart people, very intelligent. I met this guy, John, through a guy I used to work with named Kevin, who was my buddy for a few years. I haven't seen him in a long time though. So Kevin and I used to work together, and then we got into screenwriting. And then Kevin said, you gotta meet my friend John. He's a little eccentric, but you gotta meet my friend John. He's a writer and he's a teacher. So I met John. Then somehow my brother John gets to know John, the writer, and they became really good friends, and they've maintained a friendship all these years. Look at the connections. I was friends with Kevin because we worked together. Kevin introduced me to John. Somehow my brother John gets to know Kevin, and then my brother John gets to know the other John, and now those two Johns are friends. But we're all connected. You see we're all connected? You can see the past life connections coming through. So get this. I take a stab at it because I know John Summerfield is a publisher. He's got a small publishing company called New Plains Press. I sent him a book I wrote years ago, but he thought it was a little too graphic to be a young adult novel. Like the sex scenes were a little too graphic. I think it was more or less that, it was about a gay character that made him uncomfortable. But maybe I went a little overboard with the sex scenes because I was like in my 20s and I was writing and I was closeted. But John always said that I was a writer. He said he always told me I was a good writer. He said your book was good, but he's like it was a little too racy for a young adult novel. Fast forward a few months ago, I decided to say, hey John, I wrote this novel. It's titled Here I Am, Here You Are. I said, listen, John, you know I want to write all these years. I've wanted to be a writer and be published. The bottom line is, I think the novel's good. It's a light-hearted summer read, in the vein of like a Nicholas Sparks. And you know what, ladies? I'm okay with that. For years, I was fighting against that because I wanted to be snooty. I wanted to write literature. And then finally I realized, you know what? If this is what I write and people read these books and they love it and they like the story and I like the story and I'm getting paid for it, who cares? I'll be a Nicholas Sparks. Why not? Because, guys, I can be corny and I can be romantic, and I like that about me. I don't hate that. I like that. Long story short, I get an email from John yesterday, and I forgot that I even sent him my manuscript. Okay. He goes, hey Joe. He's like, I edited the first 2 chapters. Do you have any ideas for the cover? I forgot that he was even reading my manuscript. So I said, John, thank you for doing this. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. He said, do you know any artists that might want to do the cover? So I'm looking for artists for that. Now this is he actually is a publisher. He will publish the book. And all of a sudden I just got hit with this wave of joy. Like, holy shit, I never thought that I'd even get to this place. I completely forgot that I even sent him my manuscript. I completely forgot about it because I sort of gave up on writing and gave up on being a published writer. But for someone like John to say, you're a great writer, he's like, I like your style. He's like, you show detail, but you're not too wordy and you keep the pace moving. You keep the story going. He's like, I like that. And I was like, that's exactly what I am, yeah. And it's called Here I Am, Here You Are. It's a little romance novel with lots of family drama, and it's set in Alabama. And I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen, guys. So when the book is published, you guys gotta buy it. it'll be for sale on Amazon. Yeah, definitely Kindle, Amazon. Yeah, and I don't know. I know I'm a great writer. I just feel like all my dreams are coming true at this point. And you know why? Because I believe I deserve it. So very soon, I might be able to claim, I'm not going to say might, I'm going to say I am. Very soon, I'm going to be able to claim that I am a published author. Isn't that amazing? And I met this guy, John, in 2006, ladies. So it's a long time. It's a long time that I know him. But I know he's also picky, and he's a good writer, and his wife is brilliant. His wife is a professor at Open University. She's tenured. His wife is from Italy. He met her when he was over there. He was stationed over there in the Air Force. He's from the South, and she's from Italy, and they could not be more different, but they have 3 kids together. By the way, this Southern guy, John, makes better Italian food than me. He's a great cook, too. He's eccentric, but, you know, I'm eccentric, and I like eccentric people. Okay, would anyone like a card? Would anyone like an intuitive card reading, an intuitive card pull? Would anyone like a 3, 6, or 9 card reading? I'd love to, you know, see some money coming in, give me some encouragement. I gotta get some new cat food. My little cats, they eat too much. Yeah, so, no, I haven't. I've been to Brazil, oddly enough. I've been to Brasilia, the capital city of Brazil. And I've been to Mexico. That's about it. And I've traveled around America a little bit. No, I have not been to Italy. I'm not really huge on Italy. I'm not really huge on Italian culture. I'm really not. I don't know. It doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. I used to make my brother mad by telling him I want to go to France. I was like, I want to learn French. He's like, 1 at a time. I was like, I want to learn French over Italian. I don't know. Italian food's not my favorite. Italian culture. I mean, outside of opera and art. Of course I love opera and I love art. Those are things I love. I think Italians are annoying, though, with the whole food thing. Shut up. It's just food. You know, like, it's got to be this way. It's got to be that way. You can't do this. You can't do that. Shut up. It's just, I'll eat my food the way I would eat my food. Leave me alone. You know how they're like, they won't serve you coffee or cappuccino at certain times? But Italian people, they're generous and fun and fun-loving people. So, but I just was never like the most Italian person in my very Italian family. I was the oddball. And don't hate me, but I'm not really big on pasta. Not really my favorite. Especially gavadil. Oh my God, my mom used to make gavadil sometimes. She got these. My mom's Aunt Mary would call her up every month or so and tell her to come by for some money and for some bags of groceries that she would get from a little specialty store right down the block. Or actually, she lived above the specialty store. So my Aunt Mary would get us smoked mozzarella, gavadil, fresh ravioli. She'd give my mom tomato paste, tomato sauce from the Palmy brand. She hooked my mom up with 2 bags of groceries. And I loved the ravioli and all the other stuff, but I didn't like the gavadil. You might call them caviatelli, but we call them gavadil in New York. Gavadils to me were like these little, just too chewy. I couldn't do the chewy. I didn't like it. And on Sundays that my mom made meatballs and sauce with gavadil, my dinner plate would be just a plate with 2 meatballs and some sauce. So not my favorite. My mom was a great cook, but pasta's not my favorite. I'd rather eat rice than pasta. So now you know a little bit more about me, guys. That's the story, and that's what I'm sticking to. Would anyone else like a reading? Well, I'm just sitting here chatting about freaking pasta for no reason. Would anyone else like an intuitive card read? Would anyone else like to contribute to the conversation? Any thoughts? Anything else you want to hear or say? You do love my stories? Oh, good. Okay. I'm thinking about starting a podcast, but not for business or anything, just because I want to talk about the Roseanne show, which, Brianna, I finished Roseanne today. I finished all 9 seasons. I think I watched most of season 9 today when I was resting my ankle. And the end of that series was brilliant. She never actually won the lottery. It was all Roseanne after Dan died. She went to the basement and she started writing. She ended that series in such a beautiful way. I was crying. I was hysterical crying. Yeah, it was. I mean, first of all, in season 9, when they won the lottery, and then you find out that was all fake. That was all part of Roseanne's storytelling to get over Dan's death. She started writing. In the scenes where she was the millionaire, she's talking about having a Kundalini awakening. I was like, holy shit, Roseanne was talking about this spiritual stuff in the 90s. You do? Oh my gosh. I don't judge anybody for watching it, but I can't do that stuff anymore. How about this? My niece posted a video of a skunk that's been wandering around her townhouse complex, injured and like tied up with some kind of string or rope, and I couldn't even watch the video. I could not watch the video of that little skunk struggling. I couldn't watch it. This was 5 days ago. I somehow didn't see that post on Facebook, but I just saw it today. And I think somebody was able to capture the skunk and get the rope or the string off of it so it was able to use its legs again. But they said it ran into the woods. I'm thinking as long as the skunk ran into the woods, it should be okay. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, I'm always crying. I can't help it. I'm always crying. It's my water sign. I'm always crying. But I gotta tell you the truth, guys. If I don't cry, I don't know. It's a release for me. It's an energetic release for me. It's something I need to do. It's an energetic release, and it helps me feel connected to people. I can't watch the crime stuff anymore. I used to watch it, but if it's too dark, I can't watch it, especially if it's about children. I can't do that kind of stuff. But I felt so bad for that little skunk. Skunks actually make great pets. Once you deal with the anal gland or whatever, a baby skunk is the cutest thing ever. Hi, Teddy. Hi, baby. My good boy. You okay? You okay, sweets? You're an emotional Aries. I used to watch a lot of that crime stuff, a lot of that Law and Order stuff. Actually, you know who played the doctor that delivered Darlene's baby in the Roseanne show? It was the captain from SVU. The one that was there. Hey, Stormy, the one that was there before. What's her name became the captain? What was his name, guys? The older guy, the bald white guy. He played such a great doctor. That actor, I'm always fascinated by actors that are able to use their body, that are able to not be themselves. Like if I ever try to get into acting at this age, I really have to figure out how to not be fidgety as me. Because Dan something, you know what I'm talking about, right? The old, he was like he was the sergeant for most of Law and Order SVU until he left and what's his name took over the role. And what's his name? Dan something is the actor's name, but he played the doctor that delivered Darlene's baby, and his mannerisms were incredible. How actors can act with their body is really incredible. Laurie Metcalf that played Jackie on the show, most of her acting was with her body. Now, it was just, she was very physical as Jackie. That takes a lot of skill though, to stay in that character that whole time. Because I want to touch my nose right now. Dan Florek, yes, Dan Florek. That's who delivered Darlene's baby. He was in 2 episodes of Roseanne, yeah. But Roseanne did so many incredible things for people on that show. I'm going to keep saying it because so many actors whose glory days were long gone, she brought them on that show and she gave new life to their careers. Debbie Reynolds, she gave new life to these actors. Estelle Parsons, Shelley Winters, she had Oscar winners on her show. I think, damn, Roseanne, if you can manifest that, what can I manifest? Yes, Dan Florek. Thank you, Stormy. How you doing today, Stormy? How's everyone else doing? Would anyone else like an intuitive card read? You guys are being silent with the cards, but I want to practice my tarot, so give me a reason to do it. Somebody at least do a 3-card reading for me. Let me practice my skills. Last night, guys, I'll be honest with you, the energy was so strong with the group we had last night. I was kind of amazed myself with what I was getting through the tarot. I was really amazed myself. Not about me. I was like, holy shit. How am I picking up this information so strongly and so accurately? I saw a medium on Instagram today. She's got a big following, like close to 250,000 followers. She's got very short hair, kind of like a G.I. Jane haircut. She's very intense. And here's what she said today, and I do not resonate with it. She said, and I think this is to go viral, so I want to hear what you guys think of this. Whenever mediumship has come through to me, I'm not possessed by the soul of anyone's parent or deceased relative. No, it's almost like I'm listening for something happening in another room, and I'm just waiting to hear what they have to say. But in no way does their soul take over my body. That's not mediumship. But she straight up told people, and a lot of people follow her, and she got a lot of people commenting on it. She said, when you, okay, I'll pull a card for you, Stormy, just a second. Little Monsters. Oh my God, Stormy, how old are you? Are we around the same age? I was born in '79. I think I know the movie you're talking about, Little Monsters. Was Fred Savage in that movie? Or I'm thinking of something else, but I know the movie you're talking about. But this woman said, yes, when I'm channeling someone, I'm absolutely possessed by them. Did she mean actually possessed? I'm like, wait a second. I don't think so. I'm not like, the only soul inhabiting my body is the soul that's Joey. That's it. You know what I mean? Yes, that's right. Howie Mandel. Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. See, you went back and you were watching that movie? Okay, I was watching a video of Brian Scott's today, my favorite spiritual teacher on here, Reality Revolutions, and it was all about meditating. And what I thought is, because I've been thinking a lot about meditating, which is so crazy because now he does a video all about how to meditate. And he gives like very easy instructions on how to do that. And he explains meditation and this and that. And I thought, because I was really wondering, all these times that I think I was meditating, was I meditating? Because my mind wasn't clear. My mind was racing. It was almost like I was watching a movie in my mind. Sometimes I'm fidgeting and everything. And he was talking about it. He basically was saying that, you can start counting down from 100 down to 1. Hold your hands, do different things, try to keep your body still. But he said, don't try to clear your mind. That's not going to happen for you. And as he went through that, I practiced what he went through. So he walked us through the meditation. As I'm doing that, I did feel the relaxation. I did feel my consciousness kind of relax. Almost like very easily I could have gone into a nap on my couch. As soon as I did get into that relaxed state, what came to me was a vision of like a future version of me, but with maybe the skin surgery was gone. I'm wearing a white linen shirt and I'm sitting in grass, and Teddy and Stormy are next to me to the left, and Teddy is, he's him, and Stormy's an adult cat now. And I know exactly where I am. I'm at my dream house in Franklin, Tennessee. Because that's where I want to put myself, because I'm using this meditation as a way to visualize and put myself in a future that I want to be in. And I know I was meditating because as he was talking, I was sort of even falling asleep for very quick seconds. I was like dozing off, waking up. But the cool thing is, after hearing his explanation on how to meditate in a way that works for him, it's basically what I had been doing. Instead of counting down from 100 to 1, I would get quiet, sit upright, relax my body, and I would basically say the same affirmation over and over and over again until I felt myself kind of lift off a little bit. And sometimes when my eyes are closed, what I see is a circle with like a pupil in it. I think, oh, am I looking at my third eye right now? And so today I was able to go right into that scene of me in the future, you know, in that grass with the cats, and I felt the sun. I heard like the ambient noise of nature, bugs, you know, things like that, cars going by maybe, you know, trees, you know, on the wind blowing the leaves on trees. I felt the grass. I was actually eating a peach, actually. I felt the juiciness and burst of flavor of that peach. It's weird because I haven't had peach in forever, and that's not the fruit that I would normally think of that I'd go to, but there I was eating a peach, and the cats were eating some food next to me, and we were just peaceful, and I felt the whole thing. And so that I was encouraged by that to see that, you know what, yeah, even though I was kind of meditating in my own way, I was actually elevating my consciousness. I was actually, you know, getting to that place where I was meditating, and I was seeing things and visualizing and, you know, seeing past lives and whatnot. It was just very encouraging to me to see that. Yeah, it was very real, right? Was that astral projecting? Is that what I was doing? Possibly? Yeah, like an interview, exactly. Maybe she was saying that to be, you know, like silly and like a catchphrase, but no, she said literally possessed. I was like, okay. Then I went like this. I went, okay, unfollow, boop. I'm sorry, guys. I can't follow people if I don't resonate with them. If I think that they're just trying to scam people, I can't follow them. Yeah, meditation is different, but Brian Scott's technique is very simple. You know, I'm going to try his technique to get something more, like something solid that I can use, you know, going forward. Okay, let me pull a card for each of you. Okay, Brianna, I'll pull a card for you, and then Stormy, I'll pull a card for you. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Sometimes though, I'll just get up and you know what else works for me though? Because I don't think that there's like a one way to do things like that, because we're just consciousness. Sometimes how I've meditated, this might trip you up, but sometimes how I've meditated, I put in my earpods or earphones, laid in bed, I put on some of Brian Scott's videos that do the binaural, where he's saying affirmations in both ears. And the combination of the affirmations in both ears, they do put you in a hypnotic state. And in that hypnotic state, I've been able to elevate my consciousness and let my mind run wild, where I've lived an incredible life. That's why I still think, even though the toys may not have worked out the way I thought, you know, all these different things are not exactly what I thought, I think I will at some point end up in that house in Franklin, Tennessee, that mansion in Franklin, Tennessee. I don't know how, but I'm going there because I want to be there. There's something about those 6 acres and about that house that I just can't let go of. Right after I had my awakening, that Sunday morning, when something whispered in my right ear, law of attraction, I looked up The Secret, I watched The Secret, and that was boom, that was my awakening. Just boom, I was awakened immediately. When I was awakened, I immediately found that house in Tennessee because I've been wanting to move to Franklin for 20 years. And I've watched the video of that house more times than I can count. It's not for sale right now. It's like $5 million or $4 million right now. But I'll tell you what, you might think I'm crazy, but there will be a day that I will be living in that house. Whether through toys or a spiritual career or publishing books, I don't know. But I'm not letting my natal birth chart dictate things to me. I want wealth. I want to experience it in this lifetime. I'm claiming it because when you're wealthy, you can do more for people. When you're broke, you can't do shit for people. When you're broke, you're a burden. And so, no, I saw myself at that house so many times. It's so real to me that I feel like it's my house. If I show you the house, you'll think I'm totally batshit bonkers. You really will be. You'll think I'm nuts. It's got a movie theater in it, a bowling alley. Brianna, we're going to talk about meditation in our first Magician Circle. That's the first topic we're going to talk about is meditation. So hang in there, just a few days. All right, let me get some cards pulled. Okay, so this one's for Brianna. Knight of Swords, Brianna. some fast-moving energy. The Knight of Swords keeps coming out. Let me see what this has to do with you. You know what? I don't know about this one. The Knight of Swords. Well, Knight of Swords gets a bad rap, but this is just about taking what you've worked on, taking your thoughts, going for it with speed and, you know, energy, and keeping your thoughts elevated on your higher consciousness, making those kind of decisions. But also, you know, Knight of Swords is the one that goes in too quick sometimes without thinking clearly. Because it's an air sign, make sure before you take that quick movement that you're really thinking things through. And let's see, Stormy. Let's see, what does Stormy have to say? Oh, what does Stormy need to know? How's Taylor doing, Stormy? Is he ever going to come on YouTube to say hi? Is he on here? If he's got the time, tell him to come say hi. Stormy, you got the Sun card. Hang in there. Your business is really about to take off. I really believe that. Stormy, the other night I gave you a prophetic message, or not prophetic, but I gave you a psychic message, and I'm not sure you heard it. I think you were gone by the time I gave you that message about your business. Did you hear it the other night? Brianna, will you hear that night? Because I think I said to you, Brianna, did Stormy hear that message? Is she still here? Because that message was like a psychic message. Oh, then I'm going to give it to you now. The Sun card, you're about to come to a place where your business is really going to take off, and you're going to come to that place where things are working out for you. Before you know it, you're going to have the spotlight on you, and people are going to start coming to your store specifically just to see you, just to interact with you. Your stores are really about to take off. The sun is on you, the spotlight's on you, and you're coming to that place of that just ultimate, you know, positivity, growth, you know, the warmth of the sun, the spotlight being on you. So be prepared, Stormy. You're coming to a place where you're really about to pop off with that business, with visions and vibes. I really feel that very strongly. Man, the message came to me so quick the other day. It was like 2 or 3 sentences. It was so quick. It wasn't even my own thoughts. I wish I could remember all of it. But it was basically about that. Hang in there. Very quickly, you're going to be able to leave that day job, and your business is going to take off. Once you master the mindset that says that you don't need the security of that other thing, that everything you need is right there, it's going to take off for you. I think it might just be a mindset block. Let me tell you what I heard yesterday. So another one of Brian Scott's videos, Reality Revolutions, he talked about, Stormy owns she owns a store. I call them this is a term of endearment, Stormy. I call them hippy dippy stores. Yes, that's the technical word for metaphysical shop. That's right. That's the technical word for it. But I call them hippy dippy stores. I love those hippy dippy stores, though. She's in Louisiana. And you got the accent to prove it, Stormy. I love them, too. But listen, real quick. In the video I watched yesterday, because I watch every one of Brian Scott's videos. He posts a video every day at 4 p.m. My time. He's based out of California, so it's like 1 p.m. there. And the video yesterday was about manifestation and resentment. And I'm going to tell you the story if you guys want to hear it. Here's the story. I'm watching the video, listening to the video. I'm thinking, I don't get it. Who am I resenting? I'm thinking about all these people I hated in my life. These people that have really been bad to me, treated me so bad. And I couldn't think. I'm like, but I don't resent anybody. And then it hit me. It hit me, guys. Who I resent is maybe you can figure out, is there a particular topic I've mentioned recently on my lives about a childhood wound, a really big disappointment in childhood? You guys probably know what I'm talking about. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I have been holding on to resentment from my parents because I desperately wanted to be an actor and no one took me seriously when I was a kid. And I desperately wanted to try it. You know, I wanted to do it, or at least give me the chance to try it. You know, put me in an acting class, put me in a dance class, give me the chance, and no one ever did it. I used to beg them and beg my family. And I realized that I've been carrying around resentment for that. And here's why. My father actually wanted me to take dance classes. He didn't think it was gay or anything at that time. Shockingly enough for the 80s, he wanted me to learn tap. He wanted me to learn jazz. He wanted me to learn dance. And part of me thinks, had they believed in me or had they given me that chance, maybe I wouldn't have been so fat. Maybe I would have been more athletic. Maybe I would have been, maybe I wouldn't have been suicidal at 15. Maybe I wouldn't have been so, afraid to be closeted, to come out. Maybe I just would have lived a life that I would have done things. Maybe I wouldn't be who I am now. And I've been hanging on to that resentment. I didn't even realize I'd been hanging on to that resentment, because every time you rehash a memory that's a negative memory that really wounded you and hurt you, every time you rehash that memory, you're reliving it all over again. And you're telling the universe to bring me more and more of that, because your consciousness, your mind, your subconscious doesn't know that you're rehashing a memory. Your subconscious reacts to the emotions as if they're happening in real time, because time doesn't exist. And so I let my parents go. I forgave them and I let it go. And that's something that, resentment might be a block. I never even thought about it. I just figured I'd throw that out there. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? You don't have to delete that. You're a school teacher. That's okay. That's a good career to have. Hi there, welcome in. Who just joined? Would anyone that's new like a reading in exchange for subscribing and following? Would anyone else like a 3, 6, or 9 card reading? Help me help you. So that's my thing. I want to let go. I want to be clear of anything that's gonna block the life I dream of from manifesting. Not just money, but anything that's gonna block it. I want to release it, because I don't want to hold on to bitterness and resentment toward anybody, because no one's perfect. And then I thought, you know what? I could be an actor now if I really wanted to. Hi there, Suzanne. You from England? Oh, it's how exciting. Suzanne, have you been here before? How exciting. Someone from England? I love it. Would you like an intuitive card read in exchange for subscribing to my channel and liking the live? So yeah, I've been working on the resentment thing. I want to let it go. You just found me? Oh, perfect. How are you? My name is Joey. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, psychic, and medium. And I'm building a really wonderful community online of people that are like spiritual seekers, and people that are interested in tarot, things like that. Nice to meet you. Would you like an intuitive card read? If you want to just go ahead and subscribe first, I'll pull a card for you. Just tell me your age and your zodiac sign, and I can pull a card and give you a reading. For free, of course. I give a 1-card reading every time I come on here, as a way to give back and just encourage people. I have people come on here from Australia, a lot, from Canada, a lot. Actually, people from the Caribbean, too, come on here. Jamaica, the Cayman Islands. Let's see. What other countries have found me? No one from Italy yet. I'm Italian, but no one from Italy yet. How old are you? You just finished Virgo season. Look at that. Virgos, Virgos, Virgos. Virgos can be bound by perfectionism. If you can let go of the perfectionism. What else was it? What do you mean? Oh, your age. 58 Virgo. Okay. All right, let's see. What does Suzanne need to know? Did you subscribe yet, Suzanne? And who else is here with us? Suzanne, Brianna, Amoy, Stormy. Who else is here? I'm building a really great community here. Really solid people. Okay, what does Suzanne need to know? I'll just pull from the middle of the deck. All right, Suzanne, hang in there. This card came out earlier. You have the Tower card. Don't be scared by the Tower. Something in your life that you know is not working. I think you might be relieved to let it go. Some foundation that's not secure is crumbling. But the Tower moment, although a little scary, a little frustrating it might be, the Tower does lead us to a whole new place in life that we're really meant to be. So, embrace the shakeup, embrace the things changing, embrace your life going a whole new direction, and just know that the Tower does lead you to a new place, to a higher level in life. So don't worry, the Tower can be scary, but it just symbolizes that there are things in your life that are not working for you. They're weak foundations. They're going to crumble anyway. And in that crumble is where you find your strength and you find a whole new direction to go in. Oh, am I really? Oh, what is it? You want to share? I love when I'm spot on, because it's not really about me. I always pray before I come on here, like, God, please, whatever information comes through me, let it be accurate, because I never, ever want to give somebody the wrong information. So I just say, leave it up to whoever is channeling through me. It's not about Joey. I want to help people, and I only want good, pure, positive information to come through. I want accuracy to come through, and nothing else. I think because I approach it from that standpoint, the information I get is pretty accurate. You got to come back. I'm not jumping off here now, but if you want to hang out for a little while, I'm going to be on here for at least another 30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe. But you got to tell me what the Tower moment is in your life. I'm a Scorpio, so my card is the Death card in the Tarot. That's pretty intense. Death and rebirth. Oh, okay. So you're ready for it? You're ready for the change? Yeah, the change is going to bring something new for you. Did I get a card for Stormy? Yeah, Stormy got the Sun card, right? And then Brianna got the Knight of Swords. Okay, and then Suzanne got the... Oh, Suzanne, are you into this metaphysical stuff? Are you sort of into this New Age stuff? I really have only been into this stuff for about 4 years now. I had a spontaneous spiritual awakening one random Sunday morning, March 21st, 2021. 333, 21, 21 breaks down to 3. 3, 3. You're very spiritual. That's good. Good to hear. I'm so glad you found my live. I come on here every night around the same time. And every day I post a daily tarot video and a daily affirmation video. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram at joeysmagictarot as well. And on October 1st, I'm launching my online tarot club. I'm calling it the Magician Circle. It's an online club to manifest and grow together pretty much, where I'm going to, we're going to meet twice a month. It comes also with a one-on-one reading with me, as well as any psychic and mediumship readings that you want, or any questions about any psychic, intuitive, or mediumship. It's all going to be part of the subscription, $29.99 a month. Yeah, Fricky Fresh is actually one of my regulars. She's been following me, and she's been coming to my lives. When I first went live on TikTok, July 5th, Brianna's like one of my regulars, one of my friends on here. Brianna, I feel like we know each other from past life. I feel like our friendship, we just clicked right away, and we just know each other from way beyond this life. Now, this card is the card of my ex, who was a Capricorn. Good old Travis, the devil. Yeah, they're going to be fun. I believe it. It's going to be good. I know it. Good things are happening. Good things are happening. You know what somebody told me the other day? I was talking to this guy. He's a gay guy as well. He's older and very successful in life. A lawyer, a realtor. His family used to own a florist. His family used to own a flower shop. I mean, this guy's very successful. He lives in Malibu. His family used to own a restaurant. Celebrities used to come eat there all the time. Like celebrities like Toni Collette, my favorite actress. One of my 2 favorite actresses. Long story short, this guy's encouraging me about going live. He's like, man, you have such a great voice. You're a great teacher, a great communicator. I'm like, really? I feel like, part of me still feels a little inferior when I'm talking to people that are very successful in life, and I feel like I'm just starting to get there. I'm like in the baby steps to that kind of success. But he's like, you should put together a reel and see if you could do voiceover work. I was like, really? You think so? I was like, that's interesting. So it's nice to get that kind of encouragement, because I never thought I'd ever be able to be online like this. I never thought I'd be comfortable being online. I used to live in so much fear of being seen. And at the same time, I wanted to be an actor. It makes no sense. So, all right, whoever else is here, anybody that's new, would you like me to pull a card and give you an intuitive reading? I'll give you the reading from the Wizard's Tarot. Or also just to say, if anybody would like to, do a reading with me tonight here, either 3, 6, or 9 cards. I charge $5, $10, or $15 for those readings. 6 of Wands, public recognition, coming to a place of notoriety, celebration, success in your work. Do you want to see a little mock-up cover for the book? I'm a little hesitant to get too excited, but I really believe in it. I don't know why it says Augustus at the bottom, so ignore the Augustus part. I don't know why it says that, but this is sort of what I see for the cover of my book. Here I am, here you are. I always figured it would be like a summer read, like a lighthearted summer read, the kind of book you read at the pool or the beach. Just like a little lighthearted, in the vein of like a Nicholas Sparks. Oh, it's gonna be a movie too, guys. It's gonna be a movie too. Huh. Yeah, it's gonna be a movie. That came out of nowhere today. You claiming the card, the Six of Wands? Me too. Yeah, so that's just a little mock-up I did with just a chat GPT. The publisher wants me to, my friend John, he wants me to look for an artist, an actual artist that could do actual, you know, artwork, like with their hands. I have not read him, no, but I am familiar with him a little bit. Oh, really? Oh, okay, give me some recommendations, Amoy. I know who you're talking about. One random summer, I took my niece to the library all the way up, you know, several blocks up the, you know, up the road from the apartment. Two of my nieces would come and spend the summers with my family. And I took my niece Katrina, who's an avid reader. She's probably read thousands of books in her life since she learned how to read. I have not read that much. I'm not much of a reader, sorry to say, even though I'm a writer. I have a hard time with fiction. Oh, that's right, he wrote The Alchemist. Yes, you know what? A lot of people that have manifested things, a lot of celebrities have read The Alchemist. Jim Carrey, I believe, is one of them. I think Will Smith. A lot of celebrities read The Alchemist. That's what I want to practice in my magician circle, is alchemy, is bridging, is manifesting, taking what's in your thought and bringing it to the natural world. But one random summer, I took my niece to the local library. We rented some books. I rented a little tiny book of poetry by Langston Hughes. One of those summers, I read both. I read Alice in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass, and I cannot remember a single thing about it. I have no idea how that happened. I read those entire books one summer as a teenager, and I cannot remember a single thing about it outside what I know from the movies. The book is called Brida or Brida, B-R-I-D-A, just one word. When this book is published, it's going to take off. When my book is published, it's going to take off. I know it. I believe it. And you know what, ladies? I deserve it. I've studied writing. I've been writing all my life. My father actually always believed in my writing. I mean, one time I sent my parents a script or something I wrote, a short story or whatever. Right before my mom died, she really, really encouraged me and helped me get into this writing program in LA. I didn't get it. I wasn't able to go that year, but that's good because she had actually died not too long after that. And I got to go and do that writing program in LA a few months after she died. And it was a very painful thing. I was still very much in the midst of the grief. She'd only died in January 30th. And I went to do this writing program in May of 2014. But something just said, you got to do this. And it was actually in Hollywood. It was a screenwriting program. I was more focused on screenwriting and TV writing at that time. My parents always encouraged me to write. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It didn't gain recognition for a long time. Interesting stuff. I think my book is going to catch on. By the way, the title of the book, Here I Am, Here You Are, that's actually a Hawaiian love phrase. Get this. This book ends up in Hawaii. How fucking weird is that? I just realized that. How fucking weird is that? I just said I had a past life in Hawaii. I have a really strong connection to Hawaii. I don't know why. And the next thing I know, I'm looking up Hawaiian love phrases in 2015 or so when I was working on the book heavily. And Here I Am, Here You Are is a Hawaiian love phrase. And I know another one. I think it's Aloha Nui Loi, a really, really beautiful Hawaiian model, a gay dude. His name is Hunter Trevelyan. Hunter something Trevelyan. This dude is like, I mean, this is one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen in my life. This Hawaiian model, I can't even, this man is like absolutely stunning. And I just messaged him on Instagram one time and he wrote that to me. I think it's Aloha Nui Loi. Very much love in Hawaii. Yeah, I love that culture. I've had dreams where I'm in a beautiful mansion in Hawaii. Actually, I've actually had dreams that my family is in Hawaii, and I'm in a beautiful house and I'm wealthy. I've had a lot. I've had a lot of dreams I'm in Hawaii. Now that I think about it, I've had a lot of dreams that I'm at Hawaii. I'm at the beach, but they're good dreams though, not bad dreams, not scary dreams. Hi there. If anybody's new that just joined, would you like me to pull a card for you in exchange for subscribing? Let me pull a card and do some readings, guys. Let's get some readings going. You know what? I didn't do a reading today. I didn't do a tarot today. So whoever's with me, let me go ahead and do a collective reading. Let me do a collective reading for those of you that are here with me. Now remember, it is a collective reading for the 5, 6, whoever else is going to be with us. It's a collective reading. I'm going to use the Wizard's Tarot. Yeah, you just missed it, Suzanne. Earlier, I gave the story of when I did a past life regression on myself. And one of the first lives I saw was a young Hawaiian woman. So yeah, you're right. You definitely. One was in America, one was in Hawaii, which at that time wasn't part of America. And then one I think was in Ireland, but the name doesn't match. The name Celestine, I don't know if that was an Irish name. But I'm gonna go to do a collective reading to give back to everybody because I don't wanna focus on, why is nobody asking me for a reading tonight? That's not the energy I wanna focus on. So let me just do a reading because I was nursing my sprained ankle today, resting a lot and just, having a beautiful time of sleep. Sometimes when I nap, I feel my body healing. I can't describe it. Like my brother Anthony's a nurse in this lifetime, and he says when you're resting, your body's healing. And I woke up from that nap, and my ankle hurts a little bit, but it's like, worlds better than it was earlier. So I didn't get to do my daily tarot video, so I'm going to do the daily tarot live for everybody tonight. And this is a collective reading, so just take whatever resonates with you and just leave the rest behind. All right, let's see. What does our collective need to know? Our collective needs to know that there's joy in community, that though we're awakening, we can still have fun in the natural world. I think sometimes when people awaken or they're into the spiritual things, they forget that it's okay to still be a human and have fun with people, to go to the movies, to make love, to date, to flirt, to eat a cupcake, to go for a jog, to go swimming. And this card is saying, I think that because we're about to enter the holiday season, in the States at least, we're coming to the holiday season, this card could be symbolic of, be willing to get out there, go to parties, Christmas parties, things like that. If somebody invites you, don't be a hermit. And I think this is showing that those of us that are on here tonight, this is a good way for us to build community in a digital way. Even though we're separated, we can still build community and, be connected with each other. The second card that came out is the Queen of Pentacles, Divine Feminine, nurturing her finances, approaching her finances from a place of nurturing, a real motherly place. How can I take these pentacles? How can I make them grow? She's surrounded by, beauty. The rainbow comes out after the rain, showing that, yeah, she's been through a lot financially, but she's secure now. She's surrounded in green, which in America, green is the color of money for us. So we use, in America, in our mindset, green is the symbol of money for us. She's surrounded by flowers growing, showing that the pentacles are secure and that they're going to keep growing for her. This is a divine feminine energy. But we have 5 of Cups. There might be something that some of us might be holding on to, or we might be grieving something. The thing about the 5 of Cups is that after the 5 of Cups, you come to the 6 of Cups, which is the emotional fulfillment and the stability in your life. 5 of Cups could quite literally be something's happening in your life that's really wounding you. You're dealing with a breakup. You're dealing with heartache. You're dealing with the loss of a loved one. You're dealing with, financial confusion. You're dealing with, troubled relationship. 5 of Cups is saying, whatever you're feeling, allow yourself to feel it and let those emotional changes come through because you're coming to that 6 of Cups. I'm just going to pull a few more cards for the collective, everybody. Now get this, below the 3 of Cups is the Lovers. I'm going to say what I feel intuitively. The Lovers card is not about love. It's about getting to know your soul, getting to know your higher self, falling in love with yourself, making decisions from the heart. Because it's below the 3 of Cups, I'm going to say this card might symbolize you meeting somebody in a love relationship by, meeting them at a gathering, at a party, at a wedding, at Thanksgiving, at a Halloween party, things like that. The Lovers card is, yeah, there goes Fat Teddy. The Lovers card is the card of choosing from the heart, making a choice from the heart. It's also the Gemini card about that balance between male and female. I think it's like that. It's like you balancing out your male aspects, your female energies, coming to a place where you're really choosing from the heart. He's cute, right? My little teddy bear is a cute little baby. He's a sweet cat. My little gray cat, she's around here somewhere. Stormy. Okay, so that's below the Three of Cups. Now we have below Queen of Pentacles. Oh, below Queen of Pentacles, we have, I had the deck upside down. Get this, guys. Below the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Pentacles. As that Queen of Pentacles, you're manifesting and bringing a new beginning, something brand new, a brand new financial start. This could honestly be me getting that book published. I don't know how quickly John will actually get the book published, but if he's reading it, John's going to publish it because he sees something in it that can sell. So this could be a brand new beginning. I take this also if you're in business like me, where you depend on people coming to you for readings. This could be symbolic of people coming to you for readings, clients. This is also symbolic. Let's say I'm starting my magician circle, my online tarot club is a new beginning financially for me. So lots of new energy, and this is rooted down by the Queen of Pentacles. So you're that queen, and you're manifesting the wealth with a brand new beginning. Something new is coming that's going to take you to a wonderful place financially. Now below the Five of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords. Here's what I'm saying. Do you guys know that our emotions dictate our thoughts? Do you know that it's not the other way around? The thoughts do not dictate how you feel. It's how you feel that dictates your thoughts. If you wake up feeling happy, what are your thoughts? They're good thoughts. If you wake up feeling shitty, what are your thoughts? They're bad thoughts. But what was there first? Your emotions were there first. Your feelings were there first. Five of Cups, Queen of Swords. Here's what I'm getting with these. Yes, you're grieving and you're going through a hard time. Your heart is heavy. There's lots of changes emotionally. But if you're the Queen of Swords, if you can master your emotions, you can master your mindset, and you can step into the Queen of Swords. She's someone that knows what she wants. She's very clear-minded. She's studious. She's done a lot of research. She's sitting up there high on the balcony, showing that her thoughts are up and high, but she's not in the clouds. She gets her thoughts, her guidance from her higher self. Hang on a second. She's clear-minded and strong, and if she needs to make a decision, she can bring the sword down very quickly. So this is again rooted down by Five of Cups, Queen of Swords. It's saying when you let the emotions go, you're going to heal your mindset. So once you deal with this emotional pain, because now you're going to be feeling better after the Five of Cups, you're going to come to that Queen of Swords, where now you can think more clearly, and you can approach what happened with a clear mind and a lot of thoughts behind it, because you've done the research for the situation you're in, and you know where to go and how to get there. Interesting reading so far. Now below the Three of Cups and the Lovers is the Page of Pentacles. Someone coming to you with a financial offer and some financial news, and you then making a choice from the heart where you're gonna, what you're gonna do. Now because it's rooted by the Three of Cups, this could be saying to you, you might meet this person. You have to choose something from the heart, and you might meet this person at that party, at that gathering. Somebody might say, oh, hey, come meet my friend. They're a tarot reader. Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Why don't you come do tarot at my metaphysical store? I don't know, something like that. Or like, oh, you know what? I'm doing a little girls' night out. It would be fun to do some psychic or tarot stuff. Do you want to come to my house and, come be a tarot reader for my girls' night out? Things like that. So it could be anything like that someone's going to come to you with some kind of offer, some kind of information about your finances. And the pages are younger people too, so lots of youthful energy, surrounded by that color. I love this card. I love that it's like surrounded by what looks like an aurora borealis or a rainbow, showing that it's like bright, happy, good. And the pentacle's in the air, so that something's coming down to this person. Thank you for that, Amoy. I try. I stumble over my words sometimes. I talk too fast and I stumble over my words when the energy's flowing heavy. Okay, wait. Upside down again. Okay. Okay, so now below Queen of Pentacles and below the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Moon card. The Moon card is shining a very intense spotlight on things that you need to work on, the shadow work, the things you fear in life, the things you're worried about. Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, are you worried that you're not on the right track? Are you worried that by focusing on money you're selfish? Are you worried that, everything's going to come crashing down on you? What are the fears you're facing? What are the things you're dealing with? The moon is saying to face those fears, confront them, and whatever you thought of first as whatever might be your moon energy, that's the thing that your higher self is telling you to deal with. Whatever the first thought was about the moon and what the moon might be showing you, that's what you need to work on. For me, a lot of times the moon is self-sabotage. I sabotage myself throughout the years. I don't believe in myself. So as soon as things start getting good, I make a mistake and everything is crashing down. So I had to face that moon energy and say, no, I deserve it. I'm confident and I can do this. I can do it and I deserve it. I'm worthy of it. Okay, below the Five of Cups and below the Queen of Swords is showing that you have the mental capacity and the emotional capacity to deal with anything because you have the strength. You can tame that dragon. You're holding the mouth of that dragon closed. You're not going to be burned by the fire. You control the dragon. You have the light. You have the power. So whatever that emotional situation is, once your mind is clear, you can handle it. You can deal with it because you have the strength to do it. All right. Is there anything else we need to know? Anything that we need to know that resonates here or anything about this reading? What else do we need to know on here? Okay, I think this is the moon energy. Four of Pentacles is showing that you have enough. Four is about foundation. 4 walls build up a room. Four of Pentacles is showing that with this card, everything's locked up. They have plenty, but they're afraid to use it. So Four of Pentacles is saying, don't go into a negative money mindset, thinking the little I have to hold on to. No, if you have a bill to pay, pay the bill. If you want to get dinner, get dinner. Don't hold on to the pentacles so tightly that you're telling the universe, I don't believe that you're going to provide for me, so I can't spend this money. This is the energy. That's why I think that this is the moon energy. The moon is saying, trust yourself, trust that you are God incarnate. You have the energy that creates worlds in you. You can have anything you want. You have money. It might not be what you want right now, but if you approach what you have with joy and gratitude and you spend it in an intelligent, mature way, not in a reckless way, but you spend it on things that you need and want that can help you feel good and provide for you, you're telling the universe, thank you for what I have, and I believe more and more is going to come in. I think that's the moon energy, is saying to work on that negative money mindset. Don't hoard the money you have as if it's not going to come back to you. Because then you're in the frequency of, it's not coming back to me. But if you spend it freely, saying money is energy that goes out and comes in. Money is like cyclical. It's like that infinity symbol, just keeps going like this and this and this and this and this. One thing for me is I started paying bills, and when I pay bills, I celebrate it. I thank the universe that I could pay this bill. I pay the bills with joy. I smile. I cheer. I get happy about it. Pentacles are all over this reading, guys. All over this reading. Another Pentacles card. Yeah, so when you work on the money mindset and you deal with the moon energy, the shadow work, what's keeping money from coming in, why do you feel like money won't come back if you spend it? You're coming to the place of 8 of Pentacles. Look at her. She's a cute little artist. The pentacles are on the wall. She's doing the art. She's making the pentacles. She's a worker bee. She's a hard worker. She's secure. Those pentacles are not going anywhere. And remember, guys, 8's the number of wealth. I like that Pentacles card because she's an artist in this deck. And she's making the pentacles and then putting them on the wall, showing that they're secure because they're not going anywhere. They're on the shelf. But you might have to do a lot of work. But the good news is when the 10 of Wands comes out, and by the way, I bought this whole deck of cards for this one card just because of the antlers. They remind me of the toy Light Bright from when I was a kid from the 80s. 10 of Wands in this deck, yeah, he's weary, he's older, but he's got a beard showing wisdom. But look, the work is on his head. The work is up here. Those 10 of Pentacles, they're up here, they're on his head. Showing that, yeah, he's done the work, but now he's finished doing the work. Because those antlers are secure, they're not going anywhere. He's done a lot of work. He may be a little older, a little weary, he's a little tired from the work, but he's completed the cycle. He's at the 10 of Wands. So yeah, you might have to do some work, but that's going to lead to the Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, you may have to do that work, and it might be hard for you. But actually, no. Let me move it like this. I'm going to do the cards 4, 4, and 4. I want you guys to see these cards actually, but let's see if I could do that. So this is what the cards look like. I don't know if you guys could see this, but just ignore my apartment. It's not luxury. Those are the cards. My apartment's not luxury, guys. I'm not gay like that. No, it's offense to any gay guys that have like a styling flair. I'm not that kind of gay. I don't have that gift. I'm not a good decorator. I really don't. I don't have that mindset to do that. So my apartment's like very much that of a straight bachelor. So yeah, this is actually a really positive reading. I love this. Does any of that resonate with anybody? I don't even know if you guys saw the cards. I probably shouldn't have moved that. Probably should have just left it where it is. Does any of that resonate with anybody? Did that make sense? That was a very good reading, good positive reading. I like that one. I love this deck. This deck always has a positive vibe to it. I love this Wizards deck. Even though I spilled water on it recently and almost ruined all the cards, and some of them are now all beat up and pieces missing from them, I still love this deck. It's a little battle weary now. All right, guys. Well, that was the reading I have for the collective. I hope that resonated. I had fun doing that reading. Who else is here with us? Tell me who's here if you're not familiar with me. I know Suzanne, possibly Amoy, Brianna, maybe Stormy. Who are the 6 people here? Let me know who you are. Say hello. All right, guys. That was a collective reading for everyone. I hope it made sense. I hope it resonated. I really do. Oh, good. I'm glad. That makes me feel good about myself. That makes me feel good. That makes me feel like I'm on the right track with all this. Oh my goodness. I just saw 1, 2, 3 on the clock. Does anybody else see the repeating numbers constantly these days? Like all day long? 222, 555, 777, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the hard work is coming full circle. We have the strength to do it. We just have to deal with those shadow work, the things that hold us back. Okay, these cards fill out. I'm going to give this as a freebie, an intuitive message. Somebody needs to get out of a situation that's weighing on them. Queen of Cups is saying, be the Queen of Cups and take back your power emotionally. Leave those cups behind and get out of that situation that's really weighing on you. And, find your strength in doing that. Hi there, Gina. Welcome in. Gina, you been here before? I love 1111. I see 1111 all the time. Sometimes on my TV, my little Roku TV, the clock comes up and I see the hour, the minutes, and the seconds. And one night I saw 2:22:22. And then one day recently, I literally saw 11:11:11. Oh, hi there. Welcome in, Gina. Did you catch me doing the reading, the collective reading? If you want me to pull a card for you, give you an individual intuitive reading, can you go ahead and subscribe to my channel first and help my channel grow? Let YouTube know that I'm reaching people. I offer a single card read to anybody that comes to my live. Even if you come on every day, I'll still pull a card for you every day. Just, exchange for liking and sharing the live. Oh, darn. Well, you can go back and watch it. It was a really great reading, actually. Very powerful. But I'll go ahead and pull a card for you, give you an intuitive reading just for you. If you want to go ahead and subscribe first and like the live. And then, Gina, just tell me your age and zodiac sign, and then I'll pull a card for you. And welcome in. My name is Joey. I'm an intuitive tarot reader, psychic, and medium who had a spontaneous spiritual awakening 4 years ago. Almost 5 years ago, actually, now. That was 5 years ago? Yeah, almost 5 years ago. 50 and Taurus. Okay, Taurus. All right, let's see. Taurus. What does the Taurus need to know? What's your card in the zodiac? In the tarot. I always forget. Let's see. Taurus is the Hierophant, the spiritual teacher. Okay. Let's see. Okay, what does Gina need to know? Gina, where are you from? All right, Gina, don't hate me for this. It's not me. But are you dealing with some heartbreak right now? Something that really kind of a big disappointment because you got the Ten of Swords. Not the best card to get, a little scary at first because it's about heartbreak, sort of bottom of the barrel. You kind of hit rock bottom with a situation. Something really, really stabs you in the back there. But the good news is, when you're at the 10, you completed the cycle. So after the 10 comes the Ace, the new beginning. Is there anything you could think of that might have caused some major heartbreak recently or some major betrayal, Gina? I just sort of read intuitively, and I picked this card from the middle of the deck, so it's very random. Is there something that you're thinking of that might have caused heartbreak? Yeah, Ten of Swords is really just about something in your life because the sword's about the mind. It could symbolize someone that overthinks, someone that, maybe you're just an overthinker and your mind sort of gets away with you, or there's things that are weighing on your mind. It doesn't always have to be about heartbreak and total, bottom of the barrel, rock bottom. I read intuitively. It could be symbolic of just a lot on your mind right now. You don't know where to go. You don't know what to do. You just have a lot of things going on. But the good news about the Ten of Swords is that the Ten of Swords means that you're done with the cycle. Oh, is that right? Is there something that did happen is there something you thought of when I mentioned the Ten of Swords? Whatever it is, Gina, that popped in your mind when I mentioned the Ten of Swords as being heartbreak. Oh, is that right? Yeah. Is she doing okay? That would be your Ten of Swords then, especially if it's involving a child. Because the swords represent the air signs, which is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So the swords represent our thoughts, our intellect, our mindset, our thought process. And I imagine if you're a parent and you're worried about your daughter, I'd imagine it would be like 10 swords. Or if there was an issue where you and your daughter had a falling out, something like that, that would be a Ten of Swords. Oh, that's your Ten of Swords then. I'm so sorry to hear that, Gina. I really am. I'm very sorry to hear that. That would be your Ten of Swords then. I would imagine that. I watched my mom go through that with two of my siblings that decided to cut her off at different times and not talk to her anymore. To have a brother that's in your life all your life, and then to one day your brother's just not in your life anymore. And you're young, so you want to defend your mom. I'm not saying my mom was right, but I'm saying my brother was wrong. Because my brother tried to do something called tough love that was popular in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s. And it didn't work because all it ended up is 20 years to the point that, before my mom passed, they reconciled, which was wonderful. Right before she passed, they reconciled. She went to his 50th birthday party, and that was October 23rd, 2013. And then she passed away January 30th, 2014. And my brother's a nurse, and he was there. He was with us. He was by our side. He was there. They reconciled. It felt like our family was together again. But all those years, he wasn't part of their life. And they got to a point where my mom told me with guilt, I don't feel the same way I felt about your brother. She's like, it's been so many years, I just don't feel the same way I felt about him. She's like, he's my son, he'll always be my son, I love him. But she's like, I just don't feel the same way about it. She's like, I'm just not close to him. I'm not close to him, then I'm close to you. And those family struggles, those things, I think that those are actually past life connections that we're working through. I watched my mom's heartbreak. I watched her write letters to my brothers, to my brothers over and over again for 20 years and never mail those letters. A lot of those letters I think she did mail. But the good news is she reconciled with them. While my one brother was not anywhere where he could be with my mom when she was passing, but he did call her. And get this, after 20-something years of being out of her life, yes, someone is definitely dealing with a broken heart because this came flying out, but your heart can heal. The last words my mom said on this planet were to my brother, one of my siblings. It was, I love you. She just kept saying his name over and over again. She just kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. She just kept saying, I love you to him. And then she became comatose and she wasn't talking anymore. So I thought about that. How interesting that on this planet, she hadn't spoken to my brother in years and they had a big falling out. And then he ended up really messing up his life and, crime and all that stuff. And he was in prison and whatnot. And he was able to make a phone call out and talk to her. And although it's just wild to me that all those years, the last words she said to him was she just kept saying his name, and she kept saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. The love of a mother, man, you can't. The love of a mother is, I think, the closest we can get to the unconditional love of Source, of God. Oh, I'm so sorry, Gina. I'm sorry to hear that. The love of a mother can't be stopped, though. I got to see my brothers reconcile with my mom in the end. But I always thought, though, all those years, they could have been, they could have been part of the family. She might be working something out, Gina. She might be working something out, something on a soul level, maybe a past life, if you believe in that stuff. All right. Anybody else want an intuitive card read? Any newbies on here? Any new friends on here that are just joining? And just to mention it again, guys, I do paid readings on here as well. Mini reads, 3, 6, and 9 cards for $5, $10, or $15. I have a great group of people that come on here with me. A lot of people have come over from TikTok. I used to go live on there every night. Actually, some of them need to start coming on here with me because I've given them plenty of readings for free, and I should at least come on here and support me a little bit. Not you, Brianna, not you, Stormy, but some of them should come on here and at least give me, at least help me a little bit on here. But yeah, I'm launching a Magician Circle, an online tarot club. It's all about, we're gonna, manifest, alchemize. We're gonna, create the lives of our dreams while learning tarot, and how to incorporate tarot on a personal, spiritual level, so that you can use tarot, in your own daily guidance. Who else is here with us? Anybody new? Gina, can I just ask real quick, how did you find my live? Did it just pop up on your homepage on YouTube? And what part of the world are you in? Suzanne popped in from England. Isn't that great? Is that incredible? Yeah, they will. It still blows my mind that my live is showing up on the YouTube homepage. You know why? Because that, oh, Pittsburgh, okay. I went to school in Grantville, Pennsylvania. I'm from Queens. I grew up in the city. You're not Gina from Mount Zion, are you? Imagine you're Gina that I know from Bible school. No, you'd recognize me. Oh wait, no, I just remember your age. You wouldn't be that Gina. I know a Gina up there that has a daughter. Is that possible? Yeah, I went to school in a little town called Grantville, Pennsylvania. We used to do chaplain services in, here's your card, the Taurus card. We used to do chaplain services at Hershey, Milton Hershey Hospital. How cute is that? Is that little town still going? Is that chocolate factory still there? Lidditz, Pennsylvania? The little chocolate factory, Wilbur's Chocolate, are they still there? That was a fun little trip going to that factory that day. Watching those ladies make chocolate by hand. It's a little town called Lidditz, Pennsylvania. Lititz, Lidditz. And there's a little chocolate factory in there that they say, actually, Wilbur's Chocolate, they have a little Hershey Kiss shape called the Wilbur's Bud, except the bottom of it is shaped like a flower. And they say that Milton Hershey actually may have stolen that shape from them. It's called Wilbur's Buds. Oh, did I not pull a card for you, Adamoy? This whole time I didn't pull a card for you? Oh, really? Oh, okay, you should look it up. Lidditz, Pennsylvania. It's a nice, cute little town. I think a lot is to do with past lives. Yeah, a lot of it is to do with past lives. We're fixing things and learning and growing. Okay, let me pull a card for you, Amoy. 1 second. All right, guys, I'm going to pull a card for Amoy. 1 moment. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight. It definitely helps me not to feel so lonely at night. I'm single and 45, guys. It's not the easiest thing at times to be single and 45 and have never been in love. But I guess my life is different, right? Okay, what does the Moy need to know? Okay, Moy, you got the Star card. You may have gone through a little bit of a hard time, you know, faced your battles, faced some darkness, but you've balanced out your emotions. You're in control. The number 8 is about wealth. And yeah, the stars come out at night. So whatever is being cultivated in your life, the stars come out at night. So those beautiful parts of humanity, those things that we love about people, you know, those good things about people, they come out when we experience times of darkness. That's what brings out the beauty in life, because at night, stars come out stars come out at night. So in order to become the star, you have to go through a time of darkness. You have to experience the pain of life to find those jewels in life, those gems, you know, those things that shine bright. You know what I mean? So the star card is very positive for you, Amoy. So you're coming to a good place. And again, 8 stars, 8's the number of wealth. You gave 5 years ago? Well, I came out of the closet at 36, and that's not even 10 years ago, actually. I'm 45 now. I've never really dated before then. I was closeted for a lot of years and a born-again Christian, so I really couldn't date, and I didn't want to date because, you know, I didn't want to date women. So I allowed myself to get up to 357 pounds. I was absolutely miserable, and then when my parents died, I thought, well, why am I still in the closet? So I came out of the closet at 36. And then I started losing weight, and I found some confidence. I went on some dates. I was in one relationship. He broke my heart. And now I'm single again. I'm glad that resonates. Thank you. Thank you, Gina. But that's okay. I needed to learn independence. I needed to learn confidence. I needed to fall in love with myself and fall in love with who I am. And in all honesty, I can look at myself in the mirror now and I get a kick out of myself. I think about things about my personality, my looks. Every morning I do start my morning by looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and really building myself up. You do? Oh, remind me of your sign. You a Taurus or a Virgo? Virgos like being alone. My 2 Virgo brothers, they love being alone. I hate being alone. I hate it. I mean, not anymore. I like being alone, but I also like being around people. I want to have the option. Yeah, I've really had to fall in love with myself. You're a Taurus? Interesting. Taurus, usually, Taurans like building a cozy home. They like baking. They say that Taurans don't like technology, that they love... Like, if you go to the house of a Taurus, they usually have some fresh baked good. You know, they like good stuff. They like luxury. They're very good decorators with their home. They have beautiful homes. I have a sister-in-law that's a Taurus, and she fits the bill for every one of those things. That's my sister-in-law to a T. She even has a business where she's a baker. She sells her baked goods. Although one time, the very first time she tried to make Italian rainbow cookies, you know, the little tricolor cookies with the jam in the middle, she forgot flour, and when she took them out of the oven, the trays were flat, full of butter and grease, and just like melted sugar and butter, because they're made with almond paste. She forgot the flour. But does any of that resonate with you, Gina, about what a Taurus is like? I actually have some Taurus in my chart too, so I do have that nurturing, homey atmosphere. Yeah, my home is, my home is kind of like that of a bachelor right now, but I try to make it as cozy as I can with what I have. I'm not a good decorator because I'm a Scorpio. Yes, Taurus, they love food, and because the Taurans are earth energy, think about it, earth energy is the type of energy that builds a home. You build a cozy home. Taurans and Scorpios get along well. The Scorpio gets along well with the Taurus. The Scorpio does not get along with the Aquarius. We're actually polar opposites. My dad was an Aquarius. We were polar opposites. I think Aquarians are kind of weird, actually. Don't be offended by that. I was in love with an Aquarius for 2 years, but he was only my friend, but I thought I was in love with him. He did have beautiful blue eyes, and he was short and thick, you know, well-built. Weird personality because he's an Aquarius, but... Oh, boy. Anybody else that's new, like a reading? Yeah, Aquarians and Scorpios don't always get along. Yeah, my dad was an Aquarius. He's a weirdo. My father's very weird. My father was... They used to call my father Tony Two Cards saying that he was 2 cards short of a full deck. He was a weirdo. Yeah, Aquarians are just... I think that some of them are just too much for Scorpios because we feel everything and Aquarians, they think everything. It's like air and water. Air sits above water. Oh, really? Who do I know that's an Aquarius? When I was on dating apps years ago, it seemed like every freaking guy that I swiped right on was an Aquarius. And I tried to get them a chance. Oh, that's just so weird. Ugh. I have an embarrassing story about that, but I'll save that for tomorrow night because I've told too many stories tonight. But I have an embarrassing story about 2 Aquarians. One was the guy I was in love with, and one was the guy I went on a date with. Oh man, what a weird... I was surrounded by 2 Aquarians, and they were both weirdos. They were both so weird. I'm not sure about that. I have to look it up. That I have to look up. Well, Sagittarius is fire, and Libra is air. Air could stoke the fire, so air can make the fire even more, even fiery, even more fiery. Not really. The one sibling I have that none of my siblings seem to get along with, like the one that we all think, like we have one sibling in our family. Out of all 6 of us, I have 5 older brothers. There's 6 of us. We have one sibling that's a Gemini. He's the only sibling born in May. I mean, born in spring. The rest of my brothers were born from September, October, November, and January. We have one brother that's born in a warm month, and he's a weirdo. He's a Gemini. He always talks. He's always right. He's never wrong. Everything's against him. I mean, I love my brother, but I don't know. One of my coworkers recently at my last job was a Gemini, and I got along great with her, except one day she was just downright nasty to me. And we were on Teams with a coworker, and I just had to finally say, listen, enough. Stop that. Cut it out. Don't speak to me. Like, what are you doing? I'm not a child. Get your brain right. Gemini, that whole Gemini thing. You never know if they're going to be the mean person or the nice person. That's what I don't like about Gemini. Are they mean or are they nice? Which one am I getting today? The nice person or the mean person? Aries and Leo. Well, you guys are both fire signs, so you guys get along great, Brianna, I'd imagine. You guys probably build each other up. I don't mean to talk bad about my brother. I don't feel that way about my brother now. I'm just saying in the past, this is how we thought of my brother. He's the one that seems to drive everybody crazy. But I don't have any problems with any signs, guys. I'm just kidding with that stuff. I'm just joking, really. I don't have any problems with anybody because as a human being, our natal birth chart is more than just one sign. We have the sun sign, the rising sign, we have the moon sign. My sun sign is in Scorpio, 1110. My rising sign is in Libra, and my moon sign is in Leo. So I love being in the spotlight like the Leo. I love talking like the Libra, and I'm very deep and intuitive like the Scorpio. The only thing I don't have a lot in my chart is the earth signs. I think in this lifetime I have to master the earth sign. I have to master earth in this lifetime. And I don't like mastering earth because I don't like earth really that much. And what I mean by that is I don't like the structure that we've been born under. The structure that we've been born into, this type of world, this planet, the past few thousand years, the age of Pisces, the age of like a male authority figure, one president, one CEO, one government, having to obey that government. I don't like any of that stuff, those structures of the world. But I've had to learn how to do it and just be okay with it. All right, does anybody else want a reading before I hop off? I hate to hop off here when 7 people are on, but Teddy's wandering around and he really hasn't eaten much today. I'm really trying to cut him back. He's been good though for the past few hours. He hasn't really bothered me. Oh, there goes my little fatty. He just walked right over to his cup of treats. And now he's sniffing his cup of treats. You want some crunchies, Teddy? You want some crunchies? Hang on. You want some crunchies? Do it again. Talk. Oh, you're yawning? How cute. I love when cats yawn. It's the cutest thing when cats yawn. It's the cutest thing when they yawn. I love them. Oh, now my little baby's out here. Hi, Stormy. All right, guys. Papa's going to wrap up his show in a minute. And then I'll feed you 2 little fatty fats. Meanwhile, I don't even have dinner for myself. What the hell am I gonna eat? A 5-month-old Shih Tzu. Those are cute dogs. We had a Lhasa Apso when I was growing up. That's not really the kind of dog you get for children. Not a Lhasa Apso. Her name was Raquel. Terrible dog to have. Poor Raquel, I feel bad for her. She's since long gone, but before I go, I'm going to tell you a dream I had. I had a dream one time about that. I felt bad about that dog. My family was having a rough time. She was not the kind of dog to get for kids. She was a good dog, but she would bite, she would snap at people, but she was a good dog overall. But it was hard to keep up with the hair and everything. You know, lots of Apsos had that long hair. I just felt bad about Raquel, and I felt bad about the way she died. The way she died just suddenly and just wasn't good. And I just felt bad about her. And one day I had a dream about this dog, because she was actually given to me when I was a kid. I had a dream about Raquel. And in the dream, I was just walking by, and next thing I know, I see this cute little like manger, like a little barn set up, like a little teeny wooden manger. And in the manger was a giant bale of golden hay. I'm not making this up. And on top of that bale of hay was Raquel, was the dog. And she was as beautiful as a Lhasa Apso. She had like a champagne coat. She's a pretty little cat, pretty little dog, like little cute black nose, big eyes. She was a cute dog. She just was like a Lhasa Apso. She was like unstable. She was mean. Plus my house had a lot of chaos. There's a lot of people in my house. It was like a hard time for my family. It was just like 10 years of a hard time, and there's a lot of chaos. And now that I understand energy, Raquel was a dog that was not meant to be in a chaotic house. Long story short, in the dream, I see Raquel and I say, oh my God, Raquel, look at you. You're beautiful. And I'm apologizing to her from how my family we just weren't the right family for her. She just had a hard time with us. And guess what? In the dream, she was communicating with me telepathically. And she was talking to me and she said, it's okay. And she's like, I know you guys love me and I'm okay now. It's okay. You guys didn't do anything wrong. She's like, it's okay. I'm okay now. I'm good now. I was like, holy shit. I woke up, I thought, what? I just had a dream that my dog was talking to me. I was like, what the hell just happened? This happened, guys, this dream happened 20 years ago, way before I was spiritually awakened, which all these things that have come back to me are showing me that my soul has been awakening me to the truth of who we are, to the supernatural ways of life, way before I had this awakening 4 years ago. And so I was happy to know that Raquel is okay, that there were no hard feelings. She understands that my family did our best and that we loved her in our own way. But you know, they think things like, my parents would bring somebody, they'd bring a mobile truck to groom her, and the mobile truck was not the right thing for her. And she would really bite and go crazy, like when they were grooming her. I remember watching it one time, and all those things were very hard for that poor dog. But you know what? It was good to know that it's not anything to feel bad about. She's okay. She died surrounded by love, and she's okay. She's on that golden bale of hay in that little barn, that little manger, and she even had a little bow in her hair. She looked like the Cowardly Lion after he got his makeover in The Wizard of Oz, like the long, smooth, shiny hair. So, you know what, guys? Our animals, their souls, their consciousness, they love us and that they're with us and they know. And you know what, guys? My mom worked with somebody that sold her that dog and knew that that dog was not right for children. My mom worked with this lady named Marie, a lady that was always kind of jealous of my mom. She was a friend, but she was like a classic frenemy. One time at a barbecue, I went to get a pastry off a plate and she smacked my hand and my mom fucking attacked her for that. And my mom was like, Marie, you're at my house, he's my son, and if he wants a cookie, he can get a cookie. So mind your fucking business and leave my son alone. But she sold my mom a Lhasa Apso knowing that they were not good for children and that they were not good for families like my family. But she sold us that dog. Yeah, thanks Marie. Thanks for selling us Raquel. But you know what? Raquel's okay, and she's in a better place, and her consciousness is there. And Marie Lienza was her name. Good old Marie. I was not a dirty kid, but I guess I was still a kid that she saw my hands, maybe had some dirt from playing. It was a summer barbecue, and it was in our kitchen. It was in my parents' kitchen, and all my mom's friends knew her number one rule was don't talk about my husband, don't talk about my children, and don't yell at my children. That was my mom's number one rule. If you didn't do those things, she was your friend. But if you come for her children, you know, I think they do. I think one of these cats is Raquel. Honestly, I think one of these cats is Raquel. Give me a second chance at being a better owner. Although I wasn't the owner of Raquel. I was 7 years old at the time. When they got her, I was 7 or 8. Oh boy, I better go. These little fatties want their food. All right, everybody that's on here, thank you for coming on. It's been a beautiful night. I hope the readings resonated. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to come on a little bit later because people seem to join a little bit later. So I might be on here. I'm glad you found this too, Gita. You'll find there's a really good community here. We're building a really positive community. And you know that at this point in the game, my channel is not so popular that when you come on here, there's going to be 200 people on here. So you know that you can actually get to know people one-on-one. And you're going to message me and I'm going to message you back. You're not going to get lost in the shuffle here. And we're here to manifest and grow together. And please, anybody, please consider joining my Magician Circle. It's going to be really great. No pressure. I'm not a good salesman, so I'm just going to mention it and that's it. Good night, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Have a wonderful evening. And remember, guys, we have the magic within. Take care. Good night, everybody.